Peace, everybody. What's up? This is your brother, Mr. Holipsism. We're doing another live stream on this Friday evening, and it's entitled Black Power in White Daddy's House.
Perfect name.
The description reads Black Power, but no land ownership or territory. Black Power, but leave control of the infrastructure in the hands of your so-called enemy. Black Power, but no nation or country of your own. So when Black Power Americans and militant integrationists scream Black Power, just consider the source.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. That's the context of this conversation. So how y'all doing?
Pretty good. Could
How's
be
your
worse.
new year? How's your new year been so far?
Slow.
Man, I don't think I've nothing's changed from 2018. I'm still whatever we were doing in 2018. I'm still doing it now, just better and faster.
Gotcha. I totally get that one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty much same on my end.
Yeah, been same thing. Just a little bit snowed in this couple of few days. We got a snowstorm today and tomorrow. So, but
Yeah. Yeah.
the world
That's
still goes around, though. You know what I'm saying?
Where
yeah.
you at now?
I'm still in Missouri.
Oh, it's snowing now?
Yeah.
Oh wow. When are you gonna be in North Carolina?
In February, next month, I'll be in North Carolina next month.
That's permanent.
Yes.
Cool.
Thank God.
You gonna be in Fort Bragg?
Yeah, I'm gonna be at Bragg's.
Cause my mom's house and the family house is like maybe a half an hour from you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we're
That's
right
what's
near
up.
Fort Bragg. So when next time I come out there,
Definitely stop
definitely
through.
check you.
Yes.
Maybe go to one of those non-commissioned officer parties. I went to
I
those.
think they
Those are
banned
kind of
those
hot,
already.
man. I
Yeah,
went
I
to
think
one
they
of those
banned
in
them
Fort
though.
Bragg. Those are kind of hot.
Yeah.
Sisters be going all in for the officers, boy.
Yeah.
So, yo, I want to ask you guys a question. You can answer it one by one. But I'm just curious. Why are these black talking heads still taken seriously at this point? Can
Because they're
somebody
made.
answer that?
Yeah, I could try it. I'll go for it. Hello?
Yep, go ahead. I can hear
Oh
you.
yeah, yeah. Okay, good. I wasn't sure. Yeah, because if you ever listen to them like closely, they do say a lot of just black democratic rhetoric. They seem to be saying with the whole, well, we just need to keep voting for this or that. So they get a lot of attention from black people who are usually they vote Democrat. All they want to hear is the same thing. Well, just vote for this person, just vote for that person. We can do it right here. We can build a government of our own and blah blah blah. The same crap we've been hearing for what 50, 60 years now, maybe
Hmm.
longer. That's why they're so popular. They're just like broken records. They're just reiterating the same moot points over and over and over again. But if you talk about owning something tangible like a nation of your own or anything like that, it just goes like, oh well, this nigga's crazy. It's like, well, they don't want to do
I'm
anything.
just wondering why the people, if they keep repeating the same thing and it hasn't worked, why they still have currency with the people? That's the thing that's confusing to me.
Well, because they don't know who they are. They don't own any passports. A lot of them, they're afraid to leave their homes. They're afraid of their own shadows. They don't travel nowhere. Most of them don't. So all they know is America. So it's just going to keep trying to do it right here. They always say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, hoping to get a different result. These people are insane. That's what they are.
Wow.
Yeah, and it
Before
it
before y'all go next, I just want to acknowledge the chat room. Peace to Carbon Six, Jamal, Mr. Cat, Ronan Black, Darian, yo, where you at, man? I've been trying to talk to you for the longest. You've been missing in action. Um, Ted M, everybody, peace to the whole chat room. And Odos just logged in. Who was going next?
Yeah, I was gonna say that it also ties in with what's currently going on in the media. You know, if Donald Trump is doing something silly, then you got one of the black talking heads, debunking it. If R. Kelly's doing something crazy,
Hey, whoa.
then you got Tariq Nasheed debunking it, and it all ties in to what's popular out there. You know, Tariq Nasheed, I tend to follow Tariq Nasheed, but I only tend to follow him because he's like a comedian. He makes this black activist stuff, or he makes this race. Well, he identifies himself as like a race strategist. He turns into like a comedy, and he's only able to keep his followers through making them laugh. If he didn't make them laugh, then it would be the same tired, boring shit as a Boyce Watkins, as a Umar Johnson, as like any other black talking head, And the last time I've heard Tyreek talk about Africa was when he was when he was in South Africa, and he pretty much says, white supremacy is there too. So there's no use of living there. There's no use of relocating there. I might as well stay my black ass here. Those was his like exact words.
Mm.
And we're starting.
What's disturbing to me is just the lack of multi dimensional thinking. It's like these people. It's like the people that we consider intellectuals in our culture. I'm sorry, but it's just sad and pathetic to me.
Yeah, it really is. And the worst part about it is that black people take them so seriously. A lot of black people do. And a lot of these people are very ignorant about Africa, even in and of itself. They, just hearing that whole, well, I might as well keep my black ass here statement from Tariq Nasheed was just enough to say, this brother is ignorant, but he gets a lot of, steam. I'm trying to figure out who's gassing him up like this. Like, why does he have so many followers? He doesn't, he's a misery merchant.
Hmm. Well, I guess that's why, because there's a lot of people who love it when you talk shit about black people because it helps feed their narrative. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a self-hating nigga, then if you come out and say, "Oh, niggas ain't shit," then they're like, "Yeah," like that really gets on the people.
Yeah, and it's sad. It's like, so it motivates you to hear somebody talk down about your race, talk down about your people, take your women, do all this other kind of stuff to you. That motivates you. You think that that's knowledge? Like, I don't understand that. I don't hear somebody saying these kinds of things about Asians or Arabs
Yeah,
or
where's
any
the
other.
anti-Asian YouTube channel where they in there talking shit about Asians?
Like I can't. I don't hear other Asians talk about themselves in a negative manner. I don't hear that coming from Latinos and Hispanics. I don't hear that coming from white people or Arabs or Muslims or anything. It's always black people. Why do we always got to be the center for negative attention? And then we endorse it. That's just
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Well, my take on it is they have to keep feeding them the juice, man. Whether it's pink, whether it's strawberry flavored this year or it's grape next year, it's still all the same thing. It's just sugar and water with just a different color on it. That's how I look at it. So
Hmm.
in order for them to actually get their agenda across, they have to actually talk about some of the things, the social issues that we talking about, which is really irrelevant to actually our real problem. So then at the end of the show, or in one of them show, they always hit their agenda like, oh well, yeah, just go ahead, come online and purchase my X, Y, and Z for this. You can go ahead and purchase this X, Y, and Z. But it's all the same stuff. You just feeding them the same thing every year, and people just don't know. It's just changed with it's the same stuff with different color. That's how I
Hmm.
look at it, and they just feed into it. And uh, the brother said, they don't know nothing else besides this, and other people don't. They just don't have no hope besides what these people are promising them, and then they falling short on those promises, but they don't see that though, because just like grandma back in the days, hey, you promised me Jesus was gonna come back. She been waiting and she died, and the next generation and carry that torch. So
Mm-hmm.
It's like the same thing. It's continuum.
Yo, Deontay, you there?
Yeah, I'm still.
What's your take on it?
I honestly think it's just lack of self-esteem. We don't. We've been here. We've been hearing the whole thing of black people ain't shit. Black people this. We all criminals. Eventually, you hear it enough to where I think a lot of black people honestly believe we can't do anything,
Mm.
and
There's
they
a lot of truth to that.
and they just don't even care about trying. And for the few black people who do, they're like being told. It's like the whole crabs in the barrel thing. You get one black person trying to make it to the top, everybody want to pull them back down. There's just so much of it, and it's just like, when is this going to end? When is this going to stop?
That's a good point you made. But I think also that they're feeding them that they telling them that they can't to believe that they can't do nothing else when actually they are actually running the country. Believe it or not, those jobs is not doing it by themselves. We are out there doing the jobs. It's just that we don't have any motivation to go ahead and do our own thing. It's just that I know I'm secure with this job and they paying the bills, and it's probably from check to check, which is they security. Look, I need to work. I can't go off. I can't protest right now because I might I ain't be able to pay the bills. Ask them 800,000 people right now. The government shut down. So
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
crazy, man.
you
Oh,
know
I
what I'm
just want
saying?
to say peace to Chief Drino. I was checked out his live stream. Y'all should subscribe to Chief Drino. He's on point. Isaac K says something in the chat room I want to read. He
Mhm.
said there was a very prolific Asian YouTube channel that used to go in on the white worship that exists within Chinese communities. He said Chinese people ran his ass off YouTube.
Mm.
Mm.
They ain't having it.
Well, you see, like Boyce Watkins, Tyreek, and even Jay Morrison, they all have these like black academies, or they'll have like a following of 300 people who could kind of like buy their DVDs and buy their merchandise and buy their classes.
Yeah.
And I just think a statement like, "Oh, we're gonna go back to Africa," like something that Garveyite would say, it carries a huge responsibility that would kind of take away from their individual platforms. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why they're not really going into it. Even though we see like Jay Morrison, he appeared in Africa. He was at the what was it called, the back to Ghana 2019. He was there with the Full Circle Festival. And I feel like now that he's placing his face there, he's gonna have to elaborate further on it, and he's gonna have to make a decision on like, damn, where do we belong? So you
Yeah.
know, it's only a matter of time. Time will tell. I feel.
Yo, can I say something? I I want to give like some, I wouldn't say advice, but just this is how I handle things because I know that if you look at this big ass whale, the first thing that you saying is, "Damn, I can't eat this whole whale," you know. But in order to eat that whale, you got to start one bite at a time.
Right.
So to prevent yourself from being just totally disenchanted and disillusioned with everything, this is how I handle it. Me personally, I don't expect the vast majority of black people to do anything other than what they're doing right now. Because I don't think that they're the problem. The 80, and I'll use the 5% breakdown. They say it's 85% deaf, dumb, and blind, 10% know what time it is, but choose not to do the right thing. And then you got the 5% that actually is on point and trying to do the right thing. I'll use their demographic. I'm not going to drive myself into a fucking insane asylum worrying about what the 85% is doing. Not going to do it.
Right.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. That.
What
Yeah.
I'm
That's
going to
true.
do is connect with the 5%. My issue is the people that know what time it is, what are we doing? Because we can sit around here and complain about black people all fucking day long. It's nice. It's like fucking shooting fish in a barrel. It's low hanging fruit. But when you
Mhm.
start talking about the people that know what time it is or the people that have a common denominator, then that's what I'm interested in.
Yeah. Like
Dealing
that's.
with you guys right now on this live stream, that to me is what I'm into. I'm into connecting with people that know what time it is, and what are we doing to try to organize ourselves to make, to attack this whale and eat it one bite at a time.
Mm.
So I think that's just my little take on how I handle it to keep my sanity. So if that helps you, peace.
Right, right.
It's all
Man.
about. I believe it's all about gaining access to the continent. You have to gain access by any means, and that's if you have to set up a business, some type of LLC, or even if you have to reach out to one of the continental Africans, let's say Senegal, and pay them to set up a business. Let's say they could set up a chapter of the BAIL of the BAIO inside Senegal, and then they're recruiting people. By the time we get there, we're already established. This is something that I've been trying to do. Unfortunately, when you offer people money, they run away.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I've been trying to think of ways to approach it better. But
Wait,
it's
you said
working.
when you offer people money, they run away?
Yeah, I've got this girl internship with this guy named RJ with the Made in Africa project,
Hmm.
and she was going to it for like 2 weeks, and she needed a cab fare to like reach the like downtown area. So I would offer like $15, and she just like refused it because she was like, oh, I don't want to owe people back. I'm like, what? You're in Senegal. I'm in New York. I'm gonna
Wow.
Wow.
chase you for it. But then I had like further ideas, like, you know what? Do you want to start a bank account? Do you want to register a business? You know, and I didn't scare her away, but she was just on some like, this is too good to be true. You Black Americans are trying to invade something.
Yo, let me tell you
Oh,
something that's so relevant to what you're talking about right now. I
Yeah.
do production, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, if there's one wish, I don't usually have many regrets, but one wish that I wish that I knew how to do, I wish I knew how to draw. I wish I was an artist, because I think that is like the most powerful talent to have. Like
Mm-hmm.
where you can manifest what's in your brain onto a piece of paper. I would
yeah.
love to be able to do that.
That's
And one
true,
of the
man.
biggest problems that I've always had is getting an artist to actually draw.
Mm.
And it doesn't matter if you pay them. As a matter of fact, if you pay them, you'll get the same response that you just got.
Mm.
Because when you put money down, then they feel, oh shit, now I gotta produce, and then
Yeah,
they get flaky.
yeah.
So even
Yeah.
if you pay people to do what they say, it's like I made a post on Facebook a long time ago, and I said, I dedicated the post to people who deal with artists that don't like to draw, musicians that don't like to do music,
Rappers that don't like to
rappers
rap.
that don't like to rap. It's like this. So in the artistic community, there's all these people with all this talent, but nobody likes doing the fucking thing that they say that they are.
Mm.
Even if
Yeah.
you pay them, they won't do it.
And that's where psychology comes in. You have to kind of trick people and manipulate them into doing things.
Oh, Odos is feeling guilty now. I wasn't even thinking about that. Now you got me thinking about it.
Yeah, but
My bad.
I
but you
My
wasn't
know
bad,
even
what,
bro.
talking
but
about
you
you,
know what's
brother.
crazy? But you know what's crazy? The fact that you have to, kind of bribe people and manipulate them to get them to do the thing that they love doing, or supposed to have the skill to doing is kind of wild. That means that means they obviously that they don't want to do it. They don't want to be into that kind of business. So why are you?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like I thought that like if I pay an artist, they would get like I've been trying to get storyboards done for my screenplays for the longest. I gave up. You know what I did? I went and rented those little figures. Like they have these
Oh
little
yeah,
figures and I just put them in whatever position I want and take a picture of it. There's my storyboards. I had to be creative because nobody was producing. It's crazy. Oh, Kofi, you in production too, right, Cole?
I'm in production. I definitely storyboard, but I don't really storyboard, but I do it enough that
I
it
would
would
suggest
appear.
doing that. Like if you get a couple of those figures, that'll do you good. And a camera, and you can, and it's even better actually, because that way you can
Mhm.
kind of visualize what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm getting more into like post production, and I'm trying to perfect my craft in that. And James Sirleaf of the logo BIO, he's definitely on top of it. He's just sent me some editing software.
Oh, now that I got y'all on the phone, is Kala half stepping with giving y'all admin privileges?
Well, Kala, I spoke to Kala, and Kala, he gave me admin privileges to the BAIO to the Facebook page, but he said he doesn't remember the BAIO YouTube page.
No, I'm talking about the Ning site, because y'all wanted to get into the background of the site and redo the site, right?
Yeah, but he was telling me that like he didn't meet with all of us, but he was telling me that he wants specific things on there, and that we could have access to it, but then we kind of have to, before we even post, we have to like run it through everyone to see if everyone agrees, and
Oh, well, that goes without saying, but I mean, y'all should at least have the credentials sign in, so you can go back, go into the background and because my whole thing is this: the site belongs to the members. I don't have no desire to control shit. Like, I would much rather have people come in and do what they want to do and make it the best that it can be.
Yeah.
I have no desire to control anything, because this BAIO as a concept belongs to the people, not to me. So the more people that are interested in it, and the more people that want to do work and stuff, they should be allowed to do it. That's my opinion on it.
And Kala made a point. He was saying that, instead of like posting everywhere else, we should kind of post on a Ning site.
Yeah, I agree.
And and he's right, because I was like, all right, let's post on YouTube, let's post on BAIO YouTube, let's post on BAIO Facebook, Twitter, so on and so on.
I mean, I personally post everywhere. Like, I post all of them, because if y'all see, I post on the things. I post, but if I had to pick which would be the number one place for us to post and interact, it would be the Ning site.
Yeah, I love going on to the Ning site, man. It is the most quiet, peaceful,
It
just
is.
place on the planet. When I go on there and I see all these smart black people talking about STEM, with all the scientific stuff they're doing and the environment and everything, and all the math and science stuff they're doing, I'm just in shock. It's like the best place to be online if you're black, and you're interested in building stuff, and talking about nationhood and everything else. I don't see that everywhere else.
Right.
They're always bickering, talking about trivial nonsense. Oh, look what R. Kelly's doing. Mumble rap is making us stupid and blah, blah, blah. It's like, y'all focus on everything but what's important.
Right.
Going back.
That's why. Do you not think these people love this R. Kelly shit? They are frothing at the mouth that now they can have content dedicated to this R. Kelly pissing shit.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it is R. Kelly's record sales, they doubled last week after this. Oh, not last week, but the last couple of days since
That
this.
doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah, I think the Boondocks did like a little special thing about that a couple years ago. The black people, they don't care about R. Kelly. They're so in love with his fame. They know that this dude has been doing this now for over what, 25 years. Nobody's done anything about that. Everybody kind of knew it was going on.
Oh yeah.
But
Before you
It
go
just
there,
goes to show
I
you
think
where
brother
our
Dawood want to jump on.
go ahead.
Oh, the Woo's on?
No, he said he want to jump on.
Oh, okay. Let me send him.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt y'all.
No,
No
no problem.
You good.
Y'all can go ahead. I'm just sending him.
Oh yeah, I was saying that R. Kelly's record sales, they went right through the roof as soon as that documentary or whatever was dropped. Black people didn't care about that. They didn't care not one bit. But go ahead.
No, and imagine how much people around the world who never really heard of R. Kelly but wanted to revisit his music. Instead of just going on YouTube, they just start purchasing it.
Yeah.
That's why it was happening.
So, it's just crazy.
To show you where our values are. Like I don't have an opinion about R. Kelly one way or the other, other than the fact that just the objective fact that he's a fucking pedophile. Is that up for dispute?
No.
I think it. I think that.
Is that actually we still having a get together and trying to figure out whether he is one or not?
Right. All you gotta do is all right, facts. All right, now moving on to the next subject. People just don't want to leave it alone, man. Just keep going.
People definitely forgot, and then when it came back out, everyone all of a sudden just picked up right from where they left off, pretty much years ago. You know,
Yeah, and the weird thing about it is that it's like, okay, y'all do know when these incidents first came out, a lot of these families took money from R. Kelly and like settlements. And
Yeah.
instead of and when these incidents, a lot of these people went on vacation. Some of them got famous. Some of them got their hair did, got their nails did. Say, they didn't really take that money and do anything useful with it. They just sat up there and said, "Hey, we'll just take X amount of money from whatever you was giving them." They just shut up about it. That's what they did. That's exactly what they
Isn't
did.
Aaliyah's mom like she was pro that her getting married to R. Kelly?
I heard that. I had heard of that. My mother told me that a while back. She said, "Yeah, that was true." And Aaliyah was what, 14? This man had to be like
I think she was
what, 30?
16.
Yeah.
16? Yeah,
It just
yeah.
Yeah.
goes to show you, man. Everybody seems to have a price. You know what I'm saying? Like I never looked at myself that way, and I'm not trying to act like I'm more greater than anybody else. I'm just saying, just factual. I never, when I grew up, had any respect for rich people. I always respected talented people because it doesn't take any talent to be rich. You can be rich because somebody handed you down an inheritance. They did all the work and you got, paid off because you were their child or something. I'm talking about people that are artists, people that were smart. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That's who I
Right.
respect.
And it's funny you mentioned that because I heard about a few years ago that most American businessmen, they're not becoming rich because they're starting businesses and climbing to the top. A lot of it is inheritance.
Yeah. Look at
So
Donald Trump. That we got the head of the fucking country is that. He was handed about 400 million from his father. How many
yeah,
times has he went bankrupt? They said one story I found was interesting. One of his casinos was going under. So his father came in, bought millions of dollars worth of chips, and then left the casino just
wow,
so he can bail him out.
wow.
He's a
yo,
he's
can
a
I?
fucking idiot, man. It's like, you know what? And this is the thing that bothers me. Why is it that people are trying to play this Democrat versus Republican shit? Like, if you say something bad about the Democrats, that means that you support Republicans. And if you say something bad about the Republicans, that means you support Democrats. Well, where's a person like me who don't give a fuck about either one of them?
Well, that's easy. There are this country for years. If you go even after the end of the Civil War, matter of fact, starting there, this country has always had been so divided on just about every issue, from voting rights to health care to education, women's rights, and there are arguments you can make on both sides on how we get, how America is supposed to achieve the dream that it wants to have. But it seems that all these mainstream guys, these mainstream people, they're, be they left or right, they're basically in a role where they're manipulating the people into just saying, well, I'm gay, I'm black, so vote for me. Republicans, they're pandering down to white supremacists. That's just who they are. We're going to kick all the immigrants out of the country, so vote for me.
Yeah.
It's become a nationalistic, just thing. And I think that they neither one of these parties, when they get elected, they don't do much of anything.
No, because they're all the same. They all owned
Yeah,
by the same people. And that's my
yeah,
thing. It's like, you have to you got to look at it from an objective standpoint. Don't be a fan of anybody because that way you'll be able to look at things and see them for what they really are.
yeah.
Like,
And
I can see that this whole wall thing, like, if you're a rational, reasonable person and you're an objective person, this wall has nothing to do with immigration, has nothing to do with anything except Donald Trump trying to appeal to his retarded right wing base.
yeah, and they
That's all it's about.
and these people are so dumb that they don't even know that Mexico itself is the wall.
Right.
Yeah, and most of the and as a matter of fact, as far as immigration is concerned, people crossing, immigrants coming into the country from Mexico is at net zero. There are
Thank
more
you.
immigrants leaving this country than are coming in. You know
Thank
who
you.
the main source of immigrants are? They're white Canadians and white Europeans. They're staying here on expired visas. They come here and then they just stay. Nobody says a word.
Mm.
And I don't see them white Canadians picking fruit.
No,
I don't see them cleaning up lawns and doing all the stuff that the Mexicans do.
no.
I'd like to add to the R. Kelly situation before y'all move on from that.
All right.
Oh,
Oh, you're gonna make I Am
I was
Lucy
hoping,
mad at you, brother.
I was hoping we were going to talk about nationhood, but go ahead, dude.
I Am Lucy's gonna get upset with you.
Why is that?
She's saying she don't want to hear nothing about R. Kelly.
Oh, that's homegirl, by the way. That's homegirl. I love me some Milo.
yeah.
What you call it? For me, first off, we had this discussion at my domestic violence class both Tuesday and Wednesday. We talked about why a situation like the R. Kelly situation happened. And I think that we can use this. It really does pertain to nationhood if you really look into it. Because, first of all, for your child to knowingly go into a situation like that, it's a breakdown of communication between the child and the family. I don't care what anybody says. It's a big time breakdown of communication. Because your child has not grasped. Because sometimes, brothers and sisters, sometimes the mothers and fathers have said all they can say, and the child still goes to be with a person like him. And
Yeah.
what I would say to you is this. In the climate of America, for black, because R. Kelly ain't entrapping or locking up no white girls. That's clear. It's
Yeah.
all black girls that he's locking up. So what is the difference between white girls and black girls that are going to be with this monster? Who, if that was my child, there would be no amount of money or media coverage that could basically stop me from whooping on his ass. But the breakdown, it has to be a financial situation. Also, it has to be a protective situation. So, in other words, like one of the fellows in my class was talking about this. He said, when I was younger, he said out of all of the chicks that I talked to, the one I remember the most is when I was trying to make moves on her. And she said, well, I'm going to come see you. I'm going to come to your house and everything with lingerie, but you got to meet my father first.
Mm.
Mm.
So basically, dude went to go meet her father, and he gave her like a 2-hour talk, and by the time he finished, he didn't want to have nothing to do with it.
Wow.
That's what you call checks and balances.
Exactly.
Because I'll give you an example of what you're talking about, Minister. Remember when rap and hip hop used to be played on Kiss when we actually had Kiss and BLS?
Yep.
The fact that our parents listened to the same
Yep.
station that we used to play
I
hip hop
remember that.
on, that was a checks and balance. The moment hip hop got its own station, that's when everything went off the rails.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because there
Yeah.
was no checks and balances then.
You had to wait till like 9 o'clock for hip hop to come on.
Right. Once they got their own station, and it was just all bets were off. And that's when
Yep.
the quality and everything went down because there was no checks and balances. Your parents didn't
Right.
listen to it, it was only you.
Right. So what I and I agree with you 1,000%. What I would say is in regards to nationhood is this. First of all, when you have your own nation and you control your own context, there doesn't have to be one father that gives you that talk. The whole nation is that talk.
Mm-hmm.
The whole
Yeah.
nation is going to whoop your ass if you try to abuse a girl. The whole nation is going to basically come down and murder you if you think about making some kind of sex tape or whatever. You know what I'm saying? All of these things. And so therefore, we underestimate the lack of control that we have because, again, there's a lot of white girls that like R. Kelly. Am I right or wrong, brother?
Yeah.
He
You
was in the
telling the
club
truth
though.
there.
He got white fans. Kelly got white fans. So why is he not trapping white girls? Why? You know what I'm saying? And the fact of the matter is that there is a breakdown of security and communication in our community to the point where stuff like that is looked at as, well, that's an option. And so for me, one of the things we talked about because remember, somebody's doing a lot of stuff in the background. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got to mute
sorry.
yourself.
That's me.
brother.
That's me. I'm sorry.
Just mute
Always
yourself
you.
temporarily.
All right. Nah, you
Nah,
good. Let me
it's good to go. Good to hear from you, though, big brother.
Same here. Same here.
My big brother done down it. What's it called? Oh, and you know I'm just messing with you, right?
Yeah, he muted
I'm just
himself.
messing with you. Anyway, so what I'm saying though is it's good to hear your voice though. What I'm saying is that what you call it? One of the things we talked about because remember the men that come to my class they're all mandated by parole,
Mhm.
and so they talk about how they did 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, and their relationship with their daughters is not that good because when they come out, their daughter's like, well, who are you? You ain't been around. My standpoint is that's your father, but nevertheless, that's what they say and that's what they'll use. And I say, well, listen, there are people out there that didn't go to jail, but focused on work or getting two jobs or whatever, and they may not have been in their children's life even if they wasn't in jail. So we all have to strengthen communication with our children, specifically our daughters, but our sons also, because if we don't, this R. Kelly situation, you could throw 1,000 memes on Facebook and talk about, oh, R. Kelly was this, or you could defend them or you could be against them. But the simple fact of the matter is that abuse of young girls is rampant, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to meet a girl that has been touched in some way by a dude. That's just a
Yeah,
fact.
That's true,
yeah,
man.
that's true.
So true.
So what the fuck are we going to do to stop this? I don't give a shit about R. Kelly. What are we going to do to stop this from happening going forward? And it's my position that you cannot really stop it in America because America is built for niggas to get away with shit.
And
Yep.
not only that,
Yeah,
America also hides pedophilia. They're also trying to advocate for pedophilia, and that's pretty much the foundation of America through slavery, and
No
you
doubt.
know the raping and the pretty much the raping of black men, black children, and black men and women.
No
And
doubt.
I believe they're using R. Kelly and they're using like the Bill Cosby's and they're using the Kevin Hart's as the face of pedophilia, you know, homophobic acts, homo acts, whatever you want to call it.
yeah,
They're
Yep.
trying to make us the face of it. And
Yo, can I speak on that Kevin Hart
crazy.
situation?
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. I
Kevin
was
Hart
hoping
should have
somebody
never
would know.
apologized from the giddy up for
Hell
anything that
no.
he said. Because
Yeah,
first
Hell
of
no.
all, so you expect me to apologize? He made a statement that he didn't want his son to be gay, and he's supposed to fucking apologize for that?
Word.
Are you out of your goddamn mind? So my thing with him was he should have never apologized off the bat. Because first of all, he's a comedian, and if he's out there telling jokes and you offended by a joke, fuck you.
Word.
yeah,
You shouldn't be anywhere in a comedy club or anywhere else if you're offended by jokes. The whole
yeah,
purpose of a comedian is to say over the top shit so they can find out where the line is, so they know
Right.
what line to cross or not cross. That's what they
Right.
do. And
yeah.
this is another thing that they don't understand. Comedians are constantly working on bits and comedy. So they'll say stuff in different situations because they're testing out their material.
Right.
So
Yeah,
when you
Right.
hear
right.
a
Right.
guy at a show, that material's been tested, so he's found out which way to deliver it, how to what gets the best reaction. So when you hear that show, that's why these guys are so funny, because they've tested it.
Mhm.
So if you go, it's like somebody, if you were to take me and look, I'm writing a screenplay, and you take my first draft and you put it out there, you might think I'm the worst writer that ever existed in the history of writing.
Right. Right.
Because that,
Yeah,
you never take the first draft. The first draft is just to get your shit out of your system. Then after you get it out, then you start working on shit and chopping it down and getting to the meat of it.
you know,
Right.
It's the same thing with
yeah.
comedian.
I think they're bringing, and Kevin Hart had already gone through the stigma of that happened years ago. They're bringing that back up because they already didn't want a black guy hosting that award show. That's all it was. That's all it was. They just wanted to get him out the way.
Dave East, I
Word.
disagree. Kevin Hart is not trash. Kevin Hart is funny.
No,
Kevin
I didn't say
Hart
that. No,
came
I
up.
didn't say that.
No, not you. I'm talking about the guy in the
Yeah.
chat room.
Oh,
But people that saying that Kevin Hart is not funny. Kevin Hart came up under a crew of comedians where their whole job, like they would go at each other constantly, sharpening their steel against each other. He was under Patrice O'Neal, under Bill Burr, a whole lot of these other cats. This is who he came up under.
Right.
Yeah,
Kevin
Bill
Hart
Burr.
ain't no lightweight.
Yo, let me throw another
He
good
may
one
not
out
he may
there.
not be your particular taste. Because I can understand, like, if you don't have a particular taste of comedian, that's fine. But it's another story to say that somebody is not funny. Like, I may not like a particular comedian stand up, but I wouldn't say that they're not funny. That doesn't make any
Right.
sense.
Unless you're talking about Tiffany Haddish, then we got to say she's not funny.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would have to agree.
She's
I don't
alright.
like
She's
I don't
alright.
like her stand up or anything. Well, though she was good in that movie that she got popular for. What was it, Girls Trip or whatever that shit is?
Yeah.
Yo, you can already check that. You can already rent that on iTunes. Man, that came through fast.
Yo, she's a great actor, but comedy takes a lifetime. It takes experience. You know, she wasn't up for it that night. You know.
No.
She's not a comedian. Well, she's not a stand up comedian, really.
I think she had more hardships when she was younger, and she was able to participate. She was a decent comedian, but I feel like when she made it, you know, the spotlight is on her now. She's just on the spot now.
Right.
But that doesn't excuse her for what happened. You know, New Year's, like she has to make up for that. Yeah.
I think I know what you're saying. You're basically saying that now that the spotlight's on, she's a little bit too extra, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%, bro.
Yeah.
1,000%.
But at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you, at the end of the day, I don't really have any particular problem with any of these individuals because at the end of the day, it's not about them. They're all living under the same socioeconomic and political infrastructure we are. They just happen to carve themselves out a particular niche that made them successful. I don't really have an issue or problem with them per se. I don't see them as that relevant to what's going on. My biggest problem is, and I'm gonna make the same point. We made this in a private discussion, but I want to put it out there for public consumption. Boyce Watkins had a show talking about mumble rap.
Yeah.
And he's saying how that's destroying the minds of our children. You know what's destroying the minds of our children in our community? What's destroying the minds of our children in our community is motherfuckers that have a big ass platform that waste their fucking time talking about R. Kelly and mumble rap and not talking about land, infrastructure, and nationhood. That does more damage. It's a fucking Little Pump song.
Yeah, and if you know, he goes around saying, well, black people need to have build institutions here. Black people need to do this and that. It's like, okay, boys, you're telling them to build institution on land they don't own with infrastructure they don't have, and nothing else really supporting it. Like, how long do you think that's going to last? And how are they going to acquire all these things?
Richard Victor Dixon, Kevin Hart is funny. Sorry.
Yo, let me just throw this out in addition to what we're saying, because actually it comes from a platform that Voice owns. I happen to have watched a video by this one sister that is down with the channel known as Fly Nubian Queens. And
I've heard of it.
I guess, yeah, that's Voice Watching channel actually. They all work for him. And so you got this one chick on there named Michi, and she is super duper quadruple extra. But there was another sister that was on there, and I was very impressed with her presentation. But she said something that I think is kind of, you know, what she was saying was not ridiculous, but the point that she was going against was ridiculous that I want to bring here. Mm-hmm. She was talking about how there's this new thing out, well, it's been for a couple of years, where they call it toxic masculinity.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, so you got your toxic masculinity and, oh, goodness. And what happens is that is they're talking about how it, you know, is masculinity toxic and all this other stuff, and I think she said, well, one of the people that commented on the video said, well, it's toxic here, but it's not toxic with black people or black men elsewhere. And I'm like, what are you talking about, yo?
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
First of all, toxic masculinity is a fucking white feminist shit anyway.
Yeah.
Number one.
Without a doubt.
So why are we even using that terminology?
Man, it's
Toxic.
like and I saw I saw an article just last night from NBC where they're talking about that men who like to lift weights and play sports and basically stay in shape are basically connected to homophobia and racism and I'm like,
I
what?
saw that, brother. I
Yeah,
saw
I was
that.
like, and I was like, what?
Wait,
So
say
you
that again. What was
yeah,
that?
this was a major news organization. This is from NBC. They put out an article that said that basically masculinity for basically for men who like to play sports, lift weights, and do all the good shit that we that some of us men like to do is linked to homophobia, racism, and all this other stupid shit. And I said,
No,
okay, so basically what you're saying is men who like to stay in shape don't are just prone naturally to hating gay people,
Yeah,
hating
yeah,
black
okay.
people, hating. It's like what the
Okay.
hell? So
Okay. And
basically,
I wonder who wrote that. I guarantee you a
it was
woman wrote that shit. A
yeah,
white woman
Or
wrote that
Don
shit.
Lemon.
and I'm pretty sure it's just like okay. So you're saying that basically that men who lift weights and basically play sports are just naturally racist.
Let me show you how this is even more ridiculous. Am I making is this a radical statement for me to say what I'm about to say? Men like women.
Not at all.
Is that a
whoa,
radical? Is that a radical?
whoa.
So when
No,
you a woman and men is trying to talk to you and get some ass and you need to go to a counselor or a therapist, there's something
yeah,
fucking wrong with you.
yeah, and that's basically what they've done. They've tried to make they're trying to turn men soft, in my opinion. They want men, it's like for all this, it's like you girls might as well just go ahead and just date a gay guy. All you girls, like just go find or bisexual, whatever they want to be. You know, that's really where they're headed. And it's just like, what do you want me to do? Be somebody's bitch?
But you see, this is the thing that I always try to get brothers to recognize. And I don't think I'm going to get much pushback from sisters who's real sisters when I say
Right.
this. Women don't want to lead.
Right.
They don't want to lead.
They shouldn't have to.
Because if you ask any woman, they say that she wants to be the head of the relationship or lead the relationship, just hey, okay, baby, you lead. Where are we going? Oh, I don't. I just you get a bunch of hemming and hawing because they don't want to fucking lead. They want a
Right.
man to lead.
Let's
Is
bring on
that
I Am
radical?
Lucy.
Am I saying something radical? Am I being toxic masculinity by saying the fucking truth? You don't
No.
want to fucking lead the relationship. You want a man to lead the relationship. So why are we sitting up here being overly concerned about what the fuck women want?
Well, yeah, that like I mean, again, I'm still in shock by that. That this was a major news, a national news organization, one of the largest in the country. Basically,
Yeah,
put
we
out an
know.
article that said that lifting weights. If you're a man that likes to lift weights, stay in shape. If you like competition, basically, if you're an athlete, then you're a homophobe, you're a racist, you're just a big dumb jock. It's like, wow,
Yo,
really?
son, let me tell you, I'm gonna put it as simple as I can. You don't ever base your life and how you live as a man on what women fucking think. That's the bottom line. And that's no disrespect to the sisters. And any real sister don't take it as disrespect.
Word.
But you don't sit back trying to configure. Like one thing I tell young guys all the time: stop. When you do something, it has to be from a place of truth and righteousness. Don't use it anything that you do as a technique or strategy to get some ass. Because if anything, by you doing that, you putting ass on a fucking pedestal.
Word.
Yeah, yeah.
It has never been no big deal for a man who's a real man to get ass. You don't got to come up with no fucking Rubik's Cube solution to that shit.
Yeah, like we
Yo,
got some women right now going after Morgan Freeman simply because he said that the lady had a nice dress or whatever it was,
Yeah, I'm
and she
not gonna
feels strong.
listen.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna let nobody listen. Like I said, I'm not gonna let nobody try to take away my manhood.
word.
Men like women. Men are trying to get ass.
I think
Newsflash. Men are trying
I
to get ass. And if that makes you go to a therapist, what the fuck type of woman are you? And why are you
Mm.
listening to women that's trying to make you out to be a victim because, oh, this man in the street tried to talk to me? Well, guess what, bitch? Maybe you look good. Maybe that's the reason why he's trying to talk.
I think it
How fucking
goes
stupid. Why are we even having these fucking conversations?
So I think it goes back to responsibility, man. It goes back to responsibility. There's a lot of women out here that are realizing that the economy is falling, the economy ain't shit, and the men, they're not as rich as the guys on television as being portrayed to them. So, you know, if you have to get with your average male, then you might have his average children, and if you have his average children, then you may not lead a life of luxury. So I believe a lot of females who are conforming, they're saying, you know what, I want to be lesbian. They're saying like, you know what, I don't want to have children. You know, everything the male does in his nature is almost like a slur. You know,
I don't
it's
know how we got on this conversation, but I do
Yeah.
want to. Can I share a story? I want
Who
to. I
that
know we
Ken?
gotten far away from the Black Power and White Daddy's house, but I just
we
want
could
to
go
share
back.
a story with
No,
you
no,
guys.
son. This is all inclusive because,
Yeah.
to be very
Okay.
honest with you,
Okay. Well, I want to share a story from you that happened to me at my job.
okay, but let me just say this before you say your story. What I'm
Okay.
saying,
Okay.
the reason why I brought all of this up is because when you niggas come after us for trying to have our own nation, this is the bullshit that you're trying to fight here to deal with. You're trying to stay here
Mm,
to deal
Yeah.
with toxic
Yeah.
masculinity,
nice
gender
tie-in.
fluid, all of this bullshit. So therefore, we got to lay all the ugly shit out on the table so y'all can see what you fighting for.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go
But
ahead, big bro.
this will tie into what we're talking about. I was sitting back doing my work, and I was at the desk, and it was this young girl. She had to be in her like either early or mid 20s, and they were having a conversation about just men and women. And I overheard her what she was saying, and she was saying that, I know a lot of women don't do this, but I'll buy a guy a drink, or I'll step to a guy and da 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 da, and this, and she's talking about all this stuff that she'll do. I guess trying to seem like she was different from the pack.
Right.
And I stopped. I had to do it. I stopped in the middle of it, and I just
Yeah.
asked her. I said, "Who are you getting your advice from? Because they don't know what the fuck they talking about."
Yeah, I've heard of that.
No man wants a woman buying him drinks and stepping to him. That's not what you first of all, you don't have to do that. If you had one fucking woman that was around she would tell you exactly what you do as a woman when it comes to men. And here it
Word.
is. Here's the surprise. Here's the one, here's the big spoiler alert that nobody knows. If you're a woman, you know what you have to do? Just give a man go signals and he'll take it from there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about
Yep.
when he's looking at you, make eye contact? How about smiling? That's the most you gotta fucking do. You ain't gotta
Vague
buy him no
signals.
goddamn drink.
Vague signals will
How
bring the
about
wolf
this?
out.
How about when you with your girlfriends, when it's fucking 10 of y'all in a club? How about separating yourself from the pack? Because let me let you in on another little secret. If 10 of your girlfriends walk into a club and you're one of them, in that club is a bunch of predators. And keep in mind, when it comes to dating, this is the only place where the prey wants to be caught.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's set it up by that context. So when you walk into a club, you have predators all throughout that club. They seen the prey walk into the club. Each predator in that club has identified the particular prey that they want to attack. So how do you get attacked if you're a prey? Do you stay in the middle of all your fucking girlfriends? Or do you break away from the pack? If you ever seen the Nature Channel, which animal gets caught?
The one that goes away from the pack.
Yep. Yep.
But I guess this is radical stuff that I'm talking about right now. This is not stuff that most men and women know.
Yeah.
I think it's very toxic, Holip.
Yeah, that's right. That's that toxic masculinity talking. I apologize.
You know,
Ridiculous. There's so much misinformation and bad information that people are taking in and doing. And then they wondering why because this girl always complaining why she can't get a man. And I'm like sitting there going, because you listening to the wrong fucking people.
Yep.
yeah.
Try
Yeah.
listening to some older women. You know who are experts at getting men? Older women from the South and women from islands in the Caribbean.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
why? Because they understand what the term passive aggression means.
Mhm.
Backcourt.
That's what a woman does. She specializes in passive aggression. So what she'll do is she'll lead by giving the man a signal. That's all. That's all. She's not buying him drinks. She's not stepping to him like, yo, what's up, son? Yo, you want to get with me? None of that dumb shit. Because that turns a man off.
It most certainly does.
If I'm a man, I want to take the lead. At least you giving the impression that I'm taking the lead if you're really good at it.
Yeah.
But you can manipulate that whole thing. All you got to do is give me a smile, make some eye contact, and let me know that I can talk to you without being embarrassed, without you
Yeah.
going off and acting stupid.
Yeah.
And a
the-
man will go and take advantage of that situation. Now, keep in mind, this was back when I was out there. I don't know what the fuck is going on now, because now you can give a man a go signal, but because of all the bullshit, he might still not go for it because he's still afraid he might be a part of the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
Hey, hold up. I'm a bird box this shit all the way through. I recommend you guys the bird box it through. Just put a blindfold on and just go for it. Fuck it. Hey, worked in the movies. I'm just saying, if you're gonna take some advice, go to the movies, baby. Take it from Sandra Bullock. She bird boxed it out. Look how far she got.
It's like, yeah, it's like, hey man,
It
it's
is
like,
so crazy to me because when, yo, minister, because me and you are around the same generation. It was not that hard to talk to women. Talking to black, I used to go out to downtown Brooklyn and my neck would be hurting because it'd be so much ass.
yeah,
So
but back then they weren't trying to accuse you of rape simply just because you
exactly,
said
because
you
they
have a
knew
nice outfit.
a woman walked out knowing, I'm looking good today. I'm probably gonna get a lot of dudes stepping to me. And she knew that. She didn't need a therapist. She wasn't traumatized. Because other than sexual assault,
that was a yo baby days.
Yeah.
other than sexual assault and rape, because those two to me is out of the discussion. I don't even want that involved in the discussion when it comes to men and women attraction, because that's force.
Yeah.
Most normal people, I would say 95, 99.9, if you step to a girl and she's not interested, you step off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You don't tell you, fuck that bitch, I'm gonna bang you in the head and put you over my. No, nobody does that.
Yep.
Oh, so yeah, they treat everything as as a harassment. So just imagine back in the days when we used to write the little letters, oh, do you like me? Yes or no? Just
Yeah, that's
imagine that
harassment.
going on.
Listen,
Yeah, he wrote
if you're
now,
a
bro.
woman, if
Yeah,
you're a
exactly.
woman,
Evidence.
if you're a woman who's on this bullshit, everything is a harassment. A compliment is a harassment.
A handshake.
That's an harassment. Why? Because first of all, these women, the women like this, black women need to stop fucking taking their lead from these white feminists. These white feminists are not about males. They probably trying to hook up with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm a flip it. These MGTOW niggas need to start paying attention, stop taking their cues from white men. Because they probably trying to get with you, nigga.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Men going on their own way. Where they going to?
Yeah.
Because I'm
They're
not
gonna
going
tell you
nowhere
exactly
if it ain't with
how
no
toxic
fucking woman.
masculinity is too.
yeah. Yeah,
Yo,
there's
white
a
women
lot of
have the lowest birth rate in every state.
Yeah, you're gonna take advice
Go
from
ahead.
people who don't have no experience when it comes to dealing with men. Like
And
you got women who don't have not involved in any relationships, but they writing books telling people how to deal with men.
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And all
I mean,
and all their feminist heroes were like known racists too. Susan B. Anthony was a racist, a hardcore racist. She didn't care about the lynching of black men. You know, said that black women need to get away from black men. Did everything that they could. Did everything that they could to try to separate us. You see that all throughout the white feminist movement. That's what they
Oh,
do
but
best.
let's not leave out. I'm not leaving out the other culprits that are responsible for this war going on between men and women. That's these Sergeant Willie Peets and these what's the
Oh
fucking
hell yeah, man.
Oh
what's that
yeah.
dude? What's the fucking dude?
Sotomayor.
Yeah, Tommy Sotomayor and all the rest of these jackasses who can't get no pussy, because that's what this is really all about. You a lame ass nigga who don't know how to talk to girls, and now you done created a whole fucking movement because you are lame.
Yep.
mm-hmm.
I don't understand where all that came from, bro. I'm just like, men going their own way.
It came
Do
because
what?
of it. I'm telling you, that's what it is. They would never had the ability to get the ass that they want to get. See what it is. Sergeant Willie Pete did a few videos and he exposed himself with that. Like he was putting up pictures of the girls that he thought was the type of girls that he could get with or wanted to get with. And I'm looking at him going, "Oh, nigga, really? You can't get with a girl with a fat ass? Like that's some fucking Rubik's cube for you?"
He
If a
does.
girl ain't, I'm gonna tell you, if a girl ain't had an ass, I wasn't getting with her. So that's your big amazing Mount Everest. That's what you can't get.
Yeah.
Come on,
He did
man.
videos on this?
Yeah, he did a video talk with showing girls that, yo, I want to get with her. I'm like, oh man, come on, man. That was
Wait, who is this?
Tuesday.
I don't even
That
I
was
don't even know who this
Tuesday for
is.
me.
Who is this again? I don't even know who this is. I never heard of him.
Sergeant Willie Pete. He's one. He was the
Oh,
one that was out before Tommy Sotomayor.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
him.
we ethered the hell out of this nigga though, so he's not on the scene no more. I mean, we ethered the shit out of him. I mean,
All
it
that
was a time.
men's right bullshit and all of this warfare between men and women came because these lame ass dudes couldn't get no ass.
Yep.
Oh, it's kind of like that short guy that got picked on, and now he's in position of power. Now
Yeah.
he's using his power or his platform to to
Bully
belittle
everybody
people.
else.
Yeah. We got a lot of that. We got a lot of that in the army.
Listen,
Oh, yeah.
one thing I can tell, and I wish that I had just had the ability to talk to these guys. That way they wouldn't have done so much damage. I would have just told them, listen, this is what you do. Put your cards on the table and let women know what time it is because either she's going to be with it or she's not. Either way, you win.
Yeah, there's like
keep
there's
it
like
moving.
yeah, there's like 7 billion people on this planet. You're gonna do all this over one broad
Right.
like that?
Yo, so let me ask you this question, fellas. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Under what circumstances in the new black nation would you fellas shut down the government?
Under what circumstances? Okay.
Why would you
I
shut the
can't think
government
of
down?
any.
Yeah, that, I
No,
was gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I can't think of any circumstances.
But I will say the only way a government is supposed to be shut down is like if the head of state is just like assassinated or something, and we're trying to find the next person in charge, and it's like an emergency. Like I wouldn't call it a shutdown, but if everything just freezes for a second while we collect our breath, that should be the only time where something like that is like ever appropriate.
It's not even that.
We're
It's not even
gonna have
that.
a head of state though.
Yeah, it's not even that because it's always a someone that replaces that person. So everybody think that it is the president is that dude or that secretary. There's always somebody in line. So don't get that confused. So like that, what they're going through right now is an internal conflict with whatever resolution they need to find. So, but you're punishing the people who actually paying you to not pay them. Now, how dumb is that?
I'm gonna tell you, it's not even that. You know what it is? It's political theater. A government shutdown is not really about anything policy or legislative rise. It's political theater for whatever party is in power.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. So in Afghanistan, no, there wouldn't be no government shutdown because we would be far more intelligent than that.
Yeah.
That's see for me that was a rhetorical question, and the reason why I threw it out there is because that's what happens when you elect one person as the head. Whereas I believe that, and we've talked about this on many occasions, we will be led by a council.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? So for me, and that's a show that I wanted to do and a while ago, and I think I'm probably going to do it in the next couple of days. I want to talk about the dictator, the leader, and the council. Because each model has different benefits and different, different shortcomings. But I believe going forward, 2019 and beyond, your new nation should have a council because we have tried the dictatorship. That doesn't work. We tried the leader. It worked in the past, but it's not going to work today. And we have to really think about not our way of thinking, but we have to put together something, brothers and sisters, that are conducive and work with the thinking of our children and try to forecast how our children's children are going to think. And to me, that's how you are an effective forefather. If you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people was like, oh, we want our nation to be like this, we want our nation to be like that. And that's according to what you want. Consider how your children think and what they may want. And we can look at the millennial generation and we can see that the millennial generation is not jacking those dictators. They damn sure ain't jacking those. I love them for that. It doesn't work. So going forward, every decision that we make, fellas, I just wanted to keep in the back of our heads. Every decision that we make, every discussion that we have, we should always think, how is that going to vibe with the millennial generation, the generation beyond them, because they are going to be the ones, God willing, that take over the nation as we get older. We can't do this for the rest of our lives.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I said this, and I'm gonna get off the pot and let y'all talk in a second, but I said this, and I say this many times at my class or anywhere people listen to me. When niggas get up there talking that millennial shit, all these millennials, this, that, and the next thing, I usually have my middle finger up. Because I'm the father of 3 millennials. So don't talk that bullshit to me about millennials ain't this and millennials ain't that. Your millennials ain't this and that, nigga, because you don't know what you're doing as a parent. But to me, it's an amazing generation if you harness their abilities right. It's an amazing generation because, first of all, people look at them and say, "Oh, well, they always asking what's in it for them, nigga," because we didn't.
Yeah.
Because we didn't.
Right.
Because we jumped on a fucking job and worked there for 10, 20 years and got fired. Can you blame your children for saying what's in it for me? I don't understand these dudes. I really don't. I don't understand that. Not only dudes, women that say this shit too. I don't understand these people. So for me, I just think going forward, we really need to think of the next generation and say to ourselves, how is what we, because if you look at the movie Black Panther, one of the things I'm impressed by, even though it's a fictional movie, is it just looks like it's a system that all generations can run. Am I lying?
No.
So I just think that that's something we really need to put into place, a situation, a system that our children and children's children can run. Because for me, brothers, the Black Power movement, the weakness of it is there's only generally one generation of every organization. So you got one generation of Garveyites, and then you got one generation of NOI, and you got one generation of the Moors. And the next generation is totally disconnected from their forefathers, even to the point of almost disrespecting their forefathers. So it's almost like they got to start over again. That's not really how succession is ran. And I was having a discussion with my mentor one day, and he said to me, he said, Dawood, he said, you know what? He said, as black men, we have a big problem with succession. I said, what do you mean? He said, he said, because in America, we've had so little power, and what little things that we have, we try to hold on to define ourselves. We really don't like talking about somebody coming and taking shit over from us because that's what defines us. And you got to bear witness to that. He said, but the problem, that's a big problem because if you don't prepare people to take over and succeed, your vision dies, and then you sit there on some bullshit. You got the nerve to be like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? I worked all my life to build this, and y'all just gonna let it go to hell. Nigga, you didn't set nobody else to take it over.
Man, I'm trying to retire now. I want the young folks to take over so I don't have to shit.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm done,
but,
man. I should be retired. I should be sipping some Mai Tais somewhere right now.
Word up.
Hey, but to your point, dude, not too long ago, one of my soldiers asked me this question, and he said, why am I doing this? And I was like, well, you don't need to ask questions. You just do what I say. And then I thought back on it, and I was like, well, you know what? Shit, he needs to know the intent by why he's doing something instead of him just going out there running aimlessly, just doing it and like, well, why you did this? Well, Sarge told me to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like now they like, well, what is it? Well, how's it going to benefit me? How's it going to benefit me? What am I doing here? You know? And that's kind of the questions that some of these young people have. Like, I ain't doing that shit. Shit, you go do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where we have to actually pass that torch, and because you don't want to die with the information. Why we was doing this again? I don't know his mission. I don't know the mission.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yo, I want to address something Odar asked in the chat room. Well, he said in the chat room. I don't know if it's a question. He said, That's the tragedy of independence explosion. That's a good question. How does African stop infiltration and betrayal in addition to crafting a new culture? Can I answer that?
Sure.
Knock yourself out.
Sure.
I would love to be in a position where our problem is infiltration and betrayal. That's my answer to the question. If we get to the point where our biggest problem, we got to be concerned, oh, well, how we got to stop this infiltration and betrayal, I will be a happy man.
Yeah, I always thought that maybe we like if say Afghanistan never gets done in our lifetime. Like in that situation, I think we should have like certain codes or certain things that we do that'll make it hard for them. So like in case they slip up, we can easily like notify, like spot those people and point them out and deal with them.
Hmm. I
Like
don't
that.
even think that's going to be a problem, to be honest with you.
No, I don't
I
think
really
so either.
don't. I
Yeah.
think that we have too much history behind us, too much stuff in front of us, so for us to be making the same mistakes that was made before.
Well, I would say this, and I kind of covered this on my last show, Code of the Black Power Streets. You stop infiltration, or at least you can detect it when you have the right level of initiation. So, in other words, eventually, we're in the talking stage and the mustering stage and the gathering stage. But eventually, we will put together a series of things that you got to go through in order to be where we're supposed to be, because you don't think you're just going to sign up on a piece of paper, you're going to fly your black ass over to Africa. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely going to have some qualifiers. And when you pass those qualifiers, then we know that you down. There's people, who've been rolling with us for years. We understand that. But when you start coming around, hey, I like what y'all mission is. We will have things in place that you have to go through, and we can see your level of commitment. Because for me, like I said before, I came up under the paradigm of initiation. Ain't nobody just gonna roll up into anything I was involved in, and you didn't have to go through something. I had to go through it, and everybody else had to go through it, no matter who you was. And once you proved yourself, then your ceiling was unlimited, but you had to prove yourself first. To me, and infiltration happens when you just let anybody be down with you anyway, anytime, anyhow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, of course, there's strategic alliances where you make alliances with people and help us build this and do this and that. But once the alliance is over, nigga, like if you want to still be with us, you got to run through the rites of passage too. You know what I'm saying? That was a temporary visa you just got. So that's
Right.
my thoughts on infiltration. And I'm coming from a dude who've been in a temple that was infiltrated by a government agent before. So I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never forget the day we was in that private meeting, and my minister pulled out the document that was sent to him by a dude from jail, where my second lieutenant was a government agent.
Mm-hmm.
And I said,
Wow.
yo, is this real? And he was like, yeah, it's real. Look at it. It's got the fucking government seals on it. So I'm grateful to Allah that I went through that as a youngster. I don't really be trusting a lot of people, man, behind that, because this is a dude that came to my house. This is a dude that swore he loved us and loved me and all this other stuff. And this dude had a camera in his vest. So, we all got to be very careful, bro. Because
That's why I'm not into trust. It's about for me. It's not about trust when it comes to relationships. It's about
Right.
mutually beneficial
Right.
circumstances.
Right. Yep.
It's not about trust, because that's why you can go to a job where you have people around you that you can't stand, but yet y'all work together to get shit done.
right.
It ain't about me liking you. It's not about me trusting you. It's about, do your interests work in the same interest as mine? Like if I mess things up, it's gonna screw up the apple cart for everybody.
Right.
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 And I think we need to be concerned about structure more so than trust. It ain't
Right.
about trust.
Oh yeah. Here's one relation that Minister Dude asked me. Me and Sister Buddha. You remember you asked us about why Navy and Army goes at each other?
Yes, I do remember,
Yeah.
brother.
So what was the whole thing about that? Yeah, sometimes we say, Marines eat crayons and all that stuff or whatever. But when it's time, check this out. Yeah, so we still have like the internal, it's like a brother-sister thing, right? So here's the thing right here. When it's time, when they say we going to war, what happened?
Everybody come together.
Yeah.
You goddamn right. Was it a question?
No.
Nope.
Everybody
But see,
knew
that's
what
the
the
thing.
mission was,
But see,
and
that's
they
the
and
thing,
it
then, Dada.
exactly.
People don't understand that even in warfare and combat, there's a certain code, and the people that's in it understand the code. The people that's sitting outside of it don't, and most of the people that's
Right.
sitting outside that don't are politicians.
Mhm.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? People
Yep.
they don't understand it. I can respect as a soldier. I can respect another soldier who's willing to kill me for his country.
Right.
Doesn't mean I agree with him,
Right.
but I understand him because I'm willing to kill you for mine.
Yeah.
So there's a
Yep.
certain level of respect for your enemy in that circumstance.
Yep.
And that's what people don't seem to understand. And the politicians are the worst ones because most of these politicians are so hardcore military are a bunch of fucking pussies and punks
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
who
They
tried
Mm-hmm.
the
support our
most,
troops.
who tried every
Yeah.
technique that they could to keep from getting on the fighting lines.
Yep.
But now all of a sudden they sitting up there with a suit on in some position, and now they pro-military.
Dictating
Yep.
where the military moves, right? But they ain't want to be a part of that movement.
Yeah, like Donald Bone Spurs.
Yeah.
Or better
Yo, my
yet,
dad always my dad always says, "Oh, you want to support the troops? Did you serve?"
Right.
That's my dad's question all the time. Did you serve?
yeah,
But
or
here's the thing. So this is what. So I guess my relation to for everybody is we might not agree within the BAIO like personal stuff, but the mission is the mission. The
Yep.
land infrastructure nationhood. If you go
Word.
against that, what else? You know what I'm saying? You might would just go ahead and step. Like I might say, okay, he likes strawberries. I might like bananas. Who cares? You know, we might argue about bananas better for you than strawberries or vice versa.
Right.
But when it comes down to okay, well, we need to go ahead and do the harvest for it, bananas and strawberries.
Right.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and do it because people still got to eat.
Right.
Exactly.
You see
right.
what I'm saying?
Well, you
So
see how me and Carla go at it.
yeah, exactly.
You know, but you know that me and Carla that's my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody go against Carla think they're gonna do harm to Carla, they're gonna have a fucking problem.
Word.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
And this is what the talking heads, as we say, they kind of divide the people on trying to understand. Even though we might have differences in social issues, but when it comes down to hey, we getting our asses kicked, we ain't
Mm-hmm.
getting no money, we don't own no land, we should be coming together on that principle
Right.
itself.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's no and when they say, oh, we got the gentrification going on, I was like, nah, man, they just coming back to take their land back too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
All truth. They coming back to take that land because everybody, not majority. I mean, there is some homeowners, people that own land, but majority of those land is owned by
White people.
white people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they coming in, they trying to be slumlords and everything. You know, some of them
Yeah.
get sued or whatever. But guess what happened? They coming back to get their land. This is why they raising the money, the rent and stuff in these areas. They
Yeah.
coming back. They like, yo, we getting
Indeed,
tired
bro.
of laying out in the country. We coming back.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So
Indeed. And the worst part about that, big brother, that's an excellent point, is if that was black people coming back to get their land, do you know how many high quality jobs that would produce for us?
right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I am busy enough to work 7 days a week if I wanted to, because there's so many high end condos going up in upstate New York that I can't. You know, there's not enough for me to go around. And it's not just my regular physical hardware stuff. It's electronic stuff. It's video intercoms, all sorts of stuff. And these are high end stuff. We were for high end places. And these people ain't playing around. But the reality of it is that everywhere I go, I'm the only black person there, and it's a sea of white contractors doing electricity, carpentry, whatever, you name it. You know, and what always breaks my heart is that after all of those contractors leave, who comes in? The Mexicans come in just to clean the place up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
come in to sweep and mop and wax the floor, whereas all of the technical work where you get $30 and better went to white people. So we really, and this is one of the reasons why people think that I'm jaded or something like that, but I've seen enough to be disgusted because I knew that we was raising money for years and putting money together in the various different organizations, and now we got this gentrification going on, and people got the nerve to try to blame that on somebody else. We got to take responsibility for that.
Right.
Yeah, right.
It's like, are you kidding me? So, I mean,
Yep.
that's just my little spiel on that one.
Well, I don't want you to stop, brother, because I want to swing this back around to the topic because I want to
Right.
get your thoughts on this.
Sure.
Um, as you know, the title is Black Power in White Daddy's House. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah, that's
description
a good one.
said, Black Power, but no land ownership or territory. Black Power, but leave control of the infrastructure in the hands of your so-called enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Black Power, but no nation or country of your own.
Mhm.
When Black Power Americans and militant integrationists scream Black Power, just consider the source. What's
Right.
your thoughts on that?
Me myself.
Yep.
Well, first of all, I'm in total agreement with the title. Couldn't have done that one better than myself. What I think, honestly, brother, is as I've said before, as we've said before, it's sort of like a mental disorder. Because as far as I'm concerned, and I said this a long time ago, I really think that the choice of Africa for a homeland has been negatively programmed into our minds. So, in other words, we've been listening to people speak against Africa for so long, for so many years, that when an organization like ours comes up and says we can have our own nation over there, automatically it triggers something that's already been talked about, not by white people, but by black people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I've never really gone as far as I really wanted to into this, but for years people have said, why would you go back to Africa when we built this place? For years people have said that. I mean, ad nauseum. It's almost like the Pledge of Allegiance. You know what I'm saying? And so people have been hearing that for so long that when you come up with a logical alternative, they get triggered and they hear in their mind, but why would you? Why would you? We could do it right here. Why would you? Why would you? So for me, I just think that what you call it? On the one hand, you got, because if you connected to me on Facebook, all I do is tell jokes all day.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
you do.
They
You
tell a
had me.
lot.
You had me rolling.
Because the thing is I really don't have faith in trying to convince people who got that programming in their head that you need your own nation. I really don't. And maybe I should change, but every time you put like I have a childhood friend that I've been knowing, brother, God knows since I was 10 years old. I lived on one floor, he lived on another floor. And he is do it right here till you can't breathe. And you understand? I put him in the group and everything. And he unfollowed me when Black Panther came out.
Damn.
Dang.
He did.
Wow.
Not
He
Black
literally
Panther.
unfollowed. Yes, brother. He unfollowed me because he was like, I know that y'all going to be jacking that we not from Africa. And
Oh
I was just
God.
like, oh my God.
Yo, I want to talk about this, but I feel like I'm stepping on Militant's foot because she's going to do a show on this. But
Okay.
what I will say is this is just, it's not so much a spoiler, but just to describe what her show is going to be about. The reason why that resonates so much with people that we was here first and we can do it right here is because it doesn't require any action.
Truth be told.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
can say, when you say my ancestors were here first, then what do you do after that? You don't really have to do anything.
Right.
Right.
And then now you can pretend that you're black. Now you can pretend that you're pro-black and you're progressive or whatever you want to call it by simply
Right.
just stating that and not doing a goddamn thing about it.
Yep.
And that can go
Right.
on
Truth be told.
forever.
Yeah, and they fail to realize that by looking at incidents like Willington, North Carolina, if it's not that, if it's black, Tulsa or Rosewood, they fail to realize that no, you can't really do that stuff here. You have no
Right.
really. Every time we try, white people throw tantrums and they burn our stuff down in racist fits of rage, and they don't pay any real price for it. So the solution is not to is not to just give up. We're not saying the BAIO is not saying give up. We're saying we're going to do it again, except this time we're going to do it somewhere else so that it's not so easily accessible to people who want to do us harm.
Right.
It's just that simple. And then we're going to have better security. We're going to learn from the mistakes of people who came before us. We're going to make sure that this kind of stuff does not happen again. Why would you be against that?
And the
Very
blatant
well said,
hypocrisy
brother. Holy
too
shit,
is the
very
thing
well
that
said.
really I pay attention to. How long was Black Wall Street around? How many years?
It was founded. Hold on, I think I got it right here. 1 second.
Black Wall Street was around for it started out with them giving out land. They were supposed to be giving out, bad land and stuff like that. But come to find out, it was rich with oil. So this is where some of your rich black millionaires come from too, out in Oklahoma, which was that young girl, the richest black little girl. I forgot her name. But yeah, the Abos try to claim her. But anyway.
Yeah.
The Abos?
1891
Yo,
to 1921.
Yeah.
So how many years
yeah.
is that?
That would be exactly about 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now keep in mind, I'm not anti Black Wall Street. This is just subjective. How long was Liberia in existence? 160 almost,
About
right?
150, 160.
Yet we hear, look what happened when you tried to do a nation, Liberia. But then, we need to build another Black Wall Street.
And
really?
that's practically the same thing. That's the same thing. But the only difference is Liberia was actually more influential and had more power because it was its own nation. Black Wall Street was a good sign of black success, but that was just one city. With
And
the
that's
BI,
the part. The part that they don't get is that we need both. Black Wall Street was a satellite nation. Liberia was the nation state, the base of operations.
Don't hold up. Don't forget about Sierra Leone now, because it's history too. Black people ran Sierra Leone. I think that was one of the first ones that went. One of the two countries that was in Africa that they blacks from America went back, migrated to.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say in my hometown of Glen Arm, Maryland. That was supposed to be a satellite city. I was raised in Glen Arm, Maryland. That was a black founded town, black bought, black built, black everything. But it's not thriving like it should be because we don't have the same kind of influence we used to have 100 years ago. We don't we don't have no trading partners like we used to. That city is hanging on by a thread. It's upgraded in some areas, but it's really struggling. It's not seeing the progress it should be.
That's because we have small-minded motherfuckers who don't know what power is and want to settle for just being a tenant in somebody else's house. That's everybody that I've spoken to that's outside of the BAIO has a mentality of a tenant.
Yep.
Yeah.
They don't want to own or control shit. They just want to be a part of this American system and let the white man take control of everything else.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let me just, two things I want to add to this, my brother. I'm sorry. But the first thing I would say is this. Psychologically, I think it's even more powerful when you really look at it, because I think that as a people, we are really saying, I don't trust the government that we gonna run. You know what I'm saying? For real though, it's like we're sitting there saying, yo, if we had our own nation, you mean niggas would run? No, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's from slavery. That's from slavery.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. The master would send other blacks into the into the areas where they kept the slaves. Say, hey, you keep an eye on these other Negroes and you tell me what they're talking about. That's always, and ever since then, blacks have always been afraid of other blacks. That's it. That's just how it's been. It's not going to change.
Yep. And the second thing I was going to say is this is a story that Holip knows is kind of near and dear to me. But when I was younger, Coney Island was nothing but, it had a projects all over it, but it had a lot of dirt wasteland. And right next to my building that I lived in was these two hills. We called them mountains, but of course they were just two hills. And it had grassland around them. So at some point we got really creative. We went and we matted down all of the crabgrass because it was crabgrass that was almost like 5 feet tall, and we matted it down, made a trail. Then we balded this one part of it, put these nasty couches over there. You know, we were children, we didn't know no better. Put these nasty couches over there, books and everything like that. So we had our little clubhouse. Man, I'd be goddamn, the niggas from the project came and burnt it down.
Wow.
Burnt it to the ground. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, built a clubhouse right next to ours. You know what I'm saying? And it was like daring us to come and try to take it from them. And when I saw that, I realized, I was like, yo, you know what happened? We didn't own that. So they felt, you know what I'm saying, they could come take it and we didn't have no rights over it. Right. We built that clubhouse on somebody else's wasteland. And the reality of it is that when you go home at night, anybody could come and take that. Mm-hmm. That to me is the same thing as you trying to build all of this, we could do it right here stuff in America. Eventually somebody could come and take it from you. I mean, if you know, if you think about the government shutdown that we talked about earlier today, who says that they could not declare martial law, shut your ass down, shut your business down, shut your structures down, shut your quote unquote nation down that you're trying to build here, that you want the white man out of Mississippi and what's the other 5 states? I don't know. But either way, you know what I'm saying? What if he decides to do that? You have no ownership of it. So you're a nation that you, and for me, brothers, it is very hard for me to put my all into working on something that could be taken from you overnight. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
why I don't put no pictures up in things I rent.
Exactly.
I don't put nothing up there like
I don't
that.
make my desk at my office my home.
Right.
I make it so that if I have to leave that desk, I can easily go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the sad part about it is that you could tell that to these people 1,000,000 times, and then they'll talk about, we're going to defend ourselves, we're going to get guns. It's like, get guns from who? No, nobody. Yeah, it's like, get guns from who? It's like, get guns from who? You think white people are going to sell black people guns to fight them with?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then it's just like that is just strange. And then not to mention they outnumber us like 10-1. That's going to be like a short war.
Me and Holip already talked about that. Yeah.
It's like y'all.
Everybody talking about banging. Yeah, okay.
It's like
first of all, this gets back to the description of the show. It's like you screaming Black Power, but you leaving control of the infrastructure in the hands of your so-called enemy. So how mad are you? How much of a cracker is this dude really? How much of a beast is he really? When you more than comfortable with letting him supply you with electricity and gas and running water and protecting the borders and doing all this shit for you, but yet you calling him a devil.
Right.
How much of a devil is he really? It seems like if it wasn't for him, your ass would be ass out.
Yeah.
Hey, Minister, didn't we say the last time, I think the last show we did was like, yo, okay, all right. So say we gonna go to war. Where you gonna get your ammo? Where you gonna get your food at? Where you gonna get your water from?
Where's your supply?
Where you gonna be exactly. You're gonna isolate yourself. So
do you manufacture weapons? Do you produce arms?
Exactly.
Well, what if people get hurt? What if they get sick? Where are you gonna get medicine from?
Yeah, where's your doctors?
We're cowards though, bro. We're cowards.
It's like I said, it's the dude on the A train with feces in his pants talking about how he can beat Floyd Mayweather. It's easy to say, yo, I whooped that nigga ass, but you ain't training. Nobody sees you fighting nobody. You ain't got no tune-up fights, but yet you talk about how you gonna beat the world champ. You just talking shit.
Word.
And then they get mad at us because we telling you that you talking shit.
Then when they lose, they're gonna pull a Manny Pacquiao. I hurt my shoulder. This dude is still calling out Floyd now. It's like, then as soon as he loses again, what's his next excuse? I had a cold the night before.
I caught a cramp.
No, I got bone spurs. Right.
I think he said something similar to that when that Australian boy beat him up real badly, Jeff Horn. He said, I had the flu the night before. I said,
you know what would make me take all of these militant niggas seriously? Like when you let's look at it in boxing. If there's a dude coming up in the ranks and he's knocking everybody out, then people are gonna go, "Yo, you better look out for this dude. This dude is on the come up. You know, you got to watch out for him."
Yeah.
But nigga, if you ain't never even had a fight, what I'm gonna grant you a championship match because of your mouth? And do you really want that championship match? I'm gonna put you in there against a seasoned veteran. You ain't never had a fight. I wonder how that's gonna go.
First round KO. Oh Jesus.
But the
But
thing
then
that
that,
bothers me is that these people are still taken seriously, and that's the thing that really annoys the fuck out of me.
Yeah, and they give
so
them money too. That's
so
the
here's
weird part.
here's the real question. The black power, the people that's sitting in power, how much power do they really have if we still in
Yep.
this situation?
Yep.
If you can't answer that, if you don't have nothing for that, just hang up what you're talking about.
Yep.
You might as well just come on in and just join us and don't even think about it. We have plans. You talking about people that have power, but yet there's nothing being done. That's sitting in position of power.
Yep.
Oh,
How
let
much
me
power
address
do they really have?
let me
Go
address
ahead.
something. Jeff Johnson says we would have to use guerrilla warfare tactics. Let me tell you something about that guerrilla warfare
Oh
tactic.
God, somebody
You
been
ain't
watching
gonna
too much
have no guerrilla
Rambo.
warfare tactics against a bunch of people who used to go into the mall and playing with PlayStation 3. Now you can talk about guerrilla tactics when you talk about Iraq and Afghanistan, people that don't have
Yes.
shit and living in virtual squalor. Yeah, they
Yeah.
can wrap their heads around guerrilla warfare. Our poor are still got PlayStation 3s, fire cubes.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You can go to the
Yeah.
poorest ghetto, the poorest project, and you're gonna see somebody with some Jordans.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the part that they fail to realize that he fails to realize is even with guerrilla warfare, you still need a base of operation.
Thank you.
And you're gonna make your home right here in the country you're fighting. Didn't Spartacus find out the hard way that that was not a good idea to do? He didn't learn his lesson until Rome finally surrounded him.
You notice something?
Well, from
Everybody's
my
trying
point
to
of view,
move
bro.
the chess pieces around the chessboard without establishing any base of operations.
Yep.
Yep.
You don't want to
My,
have no organized base, but yet you playing this 3D chess match with the person that's in power. Are you really that stupid?
yo, but from my experience though, bro, when you talk about guerrilla warfare, you have to have the support of the people to carry it out. And
Yeah,
quite
exactly.
frankly, quite frankly, you will not get nowhere before black people turn your black ass in. You know what I'm saying? You will
but,
not get
but check it out, y'all.
nowhere.
What's the presupposition to everything that we're talking about right now? The presupposition, and this is the thing that I attack all the time. The presupposition is that this is actually a place worth fighting for.
True. You're right. You're right. You're
Why
definitely
do
right
we
about
have it
that.
in our heads that we gotta fight for this shithole?
Well,
And that's the problem.
yeah.
That's the problem. Because people, it's like I know how this works because like when you have a club and you're open, let's say you opening up a new club and you want people to come to that club, you got to create a demand for it. So what do? You reject people.
Right.
Everybody
Mm-hmm.
can't get in. So what does that
Yep.
do? It makes the club value. It adds value to it because now
Yep.
everybody knows I can't just get into this club. It's a certain type of person that can get. And so what is it doing? The club owners are building up this propaganda to make you think that this is the place you gotta be.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
When in actuality, fuck that club.
Yeah.
Word.
And that's how I
Word
feel
up.
about America. We keep building this place up, building up like we coming up with all these different strategies. Or we gonna get the white man. Is fuck the white man. Fuck America. When are we gonna get our own shit?
Bad Stockholm syndrome. That's exactly what it is. They don't want. They don't want. They don't want to get. They don't want to lead the white man. That's all they know.
So
Yeah.
I have a I'm trying to recruit this member, and she's like very vocal just on her platform on her site, and she's like a very African-esque kind of sister, Afrocentric, you know. And I told her like, hey, would you like to be a part of the platform? Would you like to join the platform? you know, you could probably like be a spokesperson and speak and try to like recruit sisters, you know. And she was like, oh yeah, I will ask my like I'll ask my friends, you know, and I'll see like what they think. And then
Huh?
she said she said she's gonna use this like post that I posted, and I posted something on like the Made in Africa project, and that's something me and Kala and Dinosaur was kind of going back and forth with RJ about, you know, and you know, they're pretty much he resides in Senegal, and they're gonna get some land, and they're gonna have people like, you know, they're gonna crowd fund for that. But that wasn't. I was talking about the BAIO, so she
Right.
accidentally thought it was the Made in Africa project with RJ Mahadi. I'm not sure if you guys heard of him.
Well, you
No.
know what, brother? This is Kofi, right?
Yeah, that's Kofi.
Yeah.
I can recognize your voice. What you call it? What you will find though, which is ironic, but it took me a while to realize
Mhm.
when Black American people from the conscious circles mean Africa,
Yeah, yeah.
it's synonymous with here.
Mm.
It's a bugged out concept, but it's always synonymous with here. So in other words, like they mean Africa, but still here.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And it took me a while to realize, like word, like wait a minute, like I thought Africa meant no, 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 no. My ancestors were born here, but I could wear, I could wear unks. So
Yeah.
it takes a little bit of I don't know. To me, it takes a little bit of adjusting to that mentality, because you just naturally think anybody that is pro Africa, down for Africa, should naturally want to support the BAO. But then you find out that's not the case
Boy, was
because
that a mistake.
word up.
Why would you think, Minister, just because a dude got Africa on his chest, that he would actually be interested in Africa? See, that was your
Word
mistake.
up. Yeah, it was. It most certainly was. Especially the Garveyites. Like that surprised the hell out of me. I was like, Garveyites don't like it? What the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't understand it, but I accept it at this point because I've seen it too much. You know. And I always tell the story of this one sister that I knew that there wasn't nobody talking about Africa more than her. And I put in the BIO group, and shortly after that, she took herself out of the group and started talking about, my ancestors are from here and all. I was like, what?
Yeah. Turtle
It's
Island.
crazy, bro. I like your terminology goes the abos.
Oh
That shit is
man,
beautiful.
man. Look,
It's crazy.
for the most part, I think that like Holip said, you're not going to get everybody. You're not going to get every black person in America, but at least we'll get enough to start. And then it'll catch on later on. Like we said, we just want to see the ground broken and making moves. We have enough talent. We have enough talent to do it. But
Right.
and it's another thing that I had in the back of my mind. I was like, you know what? I don't want no help from nobody that have a big platform. I said everything that has a big platform really isn't good for you, because
Yeah, that's
then
true.
it always be hijacked and get turned
Yep.
into something else than what it was supposed to be.
Yep.
Or they're still your idea. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good with what we got right now. The little people that we have, it starts out small. We can move up big, like I said.
Yeah.
That's
No, I
true.
agree with you 1,000%, bro. We definitely got the talent.
And the
Right.
beautiful
Definitely.
thing is, it's not like in America where it's like a big deal to speak to a high-ranking official. You can go to Africa and you can speak to them. You can have a sit down. It's nobody that's untouchable.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can speak to Paul Pagami on Twitter.
Word?
Yeah, he's on Twitter. I got him as a friend.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
You can
it's
tell.
like
You
the
tell.
world is closer, man.
Yeah, you can tell the people that's genuinely like concerned about people that talk to them. Like with
Yeah.
me, like when people say happy birthday to me, I on my Facebook page, I go back and I say, hey, appreciate it. I don't just say a blanket thank you. I say something that
Word.
personal, that they can relate to. You know what I'm saying? If they took their time out. I don't want to just do it. Hey, I want to say a blanket happy birthday. I appreciate all the birthday. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that interaction. So I know I don't have that many people, which I'm cool with. But as long as you know what I'm saying, I'm comfortable with my circle. Eventually, it's going to grow with the BAIO. But you know what I'm saying? I don't need all the extra stuff that goes with it. I don't need all the extra social issues. If we are not talking about what I'm talking about, we really don't even have a conversation. I could drink my Jack and just sit back and just say, and just keep moving.
And the thing I like the most about the BAIO, or the people that we're attracting, is we seem to be attracting a lot of self-starting individuals. Like, I don't see anybody really laying back. Well, what's going on, Holip? What we gonna do? You know, people is taking the ball and moving forward. Like, if they have a particular talent and skill and they want to apply it, they're doing it. And that's what I appreciate, man, because that's what we need more of. It's like everybody keeps acting like as if, you know, like I say, oh, what is the BAIO doing? I always ask, well, what are you doing? Why is there some BAIO guy that we talking to? The BAIO is its members.
Yeah, big platforms today, they're not what, they're just really untrustworthy. A while back, it's kind of funny because we started off talking about this dude, but, Boyce Watkins is a good example of this. He got caught up in a controversy with this little Chinese dude who actually came out and said, hey, Boyce actually works for me. And we have a company where we just sell hope to we just sell hope to black people. And when people start cornering Boyce and asking questions like, hey, is this true? Blah, blah, blah. He basically made a video, and basically it was like a Wizard of Oz moment. He came out and said, hey, don't pay attention to that man behind the curtain. That's what he did. That's exactly what he did. It was like, don't pay attention to that man behind the curtain. It's like, dude, like, this guy just came out, this little Chinese guy just came out and said, you work for him. You guys own a company where basically you sell hope to black people. That's what that's what he said, word for word. And your best response to that was, yeah, that was one of the responses somebody put at the bottom of the video too. And somebody said, and the best response you could give back to the people who were thought so highly of you, were subscribed to your page and listening to you, was, well, don't pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. That's all you said. And and one of the responses I thought was truly heartbroken that somebody put down there was, damn, Boyce, why you have to do us like that? It's like, Jesus. It's like, and it's kind of ironic because the day before that came out, he was just making a video talking about how other black people who do the same thing he do are fake and we shouldn't trust them. And then all of a sudden, this little Chinese
How many examples are we going to have of that? How many examples are we going to have of people who scream on swirlers and then really swirling in their personal life? How many times are we going to have these hypocrites? And I'm not supposed to call them on it.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Other black people attacked other black people who were calling out Boyce. I saw that too, and I was just like, they're like, because a minute ago you were just talking about Umar Johnson. You were just talking about how he took money from people saying that he was going to build a school, but never did it.
Right.
But now you have this little Chinese guy coming out here saying, hey, this black guy y'all idolize, or some of y'all idolize so much, he works for me. The stuff that he's doing, this is part of our business. We're just here to sell people hope. That's what he said.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen what's that?
Charlie Wu.
Shocking.
Charlie Wu. That was his name. Charlie Wu.
Yeah, but your girl, Holip, what's her name? Yvette Carnell. I think she called him out. I think they was going back and forth with that. Yeah, she posted the video and stuff, and she actually when she posted the video and he was explaining how to get his how to get black people to actually go along with his program. I was like, yep.
Yeah, but she has no credibility because she used his platform to blow up.
No, exactly. I'm not defending her, but what I'm saying though is like it's like the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah. And then it was just like this big backlash, and you notice how that has all just been swept under the rug. Now he has lost several thousand subscribers, but he's still peaking at about 100 grand worth of people. And he's selling. And here's the weird thing: his whole business, even if you want to call it that, it's just basically him selling something called a financial, like an investment kit for like $500. Something you could learn how to do online for free. There are articles online for free right now that show you how to invest money.
See,
But he
this is
said,
the point that I
yeah,
was making before in the chat, when our private chat. I don't trust people who make their money off the struggle.
Yep.
I
yeah,
think it's a conflict of interest.
Hell yeah.
It's a conflict, no matter how you slice it.
And the fact that you're not smart enough to realize there's a conflict of interest is the problem. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like if you are making money off the struggle and you don't say, damn, this shit feel kind of funny. Let me stop this. You know what I'm saying? Like come on, like you don't even feel half as
I'm not
guilty.
trying to say anything about anybody, but I'm just saying this is just as a rule. How are you gonna oh damn, should I say this? Why not? Why not?
Why not? Shit.
How are you going to be taken seriously about your stance against being against America when you work for the Department of Homeland Security?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You can't be
Yep.
against America and work for the government you claim to don't like. That.
Yep.
If
It's like
Unless
anything,
you a
it's
double
like if we
agent.
doing crime, right?
yeah,
And we dealing, and one of your boys just happens to be aligned with the fucking police department.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Doesn't that raise
FBO.
any red flags for you? Are you just gonna go, well, just because he knows the police, that don't mean it's gonna affect our business? Like what?
That's my man though.
I'm just saying. I'm just
That's my
saying.
man though. That's my man. I mean that's the kind of excuses we'll give. Oh, that's my man. Like what?
Every movie I've seen, once they find out you work for the cops, your ass is dead.
Mhm.
yeah, man. And it's just crazy. If it's not Boyce, it's Zaza Ali. If it's not her, it's Umar. And people still give him money over and over and
Yep.
over again. And it's just like, and Zaza, she said the black community was expendable to her. So she basically said she didn't care. She told that in the
Most
email to
certainly
one of
did
her
too.
clients. Yeah, she said that right in the
Yep.
email. And everybody saw it. And everybody was just like, and now, and unfortunately, that has ripple effects because now they think that every black person on YouTube who says something that might even be slightly positive is now just a con artist. So I think it kind of makes it hard even for the BAIO.
I don't
I
think
don't
it
think
makes it
so,
hard
bro.
for
You
us.
know what?
Yeah, I was
We've
about to
been
say that.
calling
I
it
don't.
out. We've been
If
Yeah.
you
calling that out.
if you was interested in Zaza, then you probably wasn't interested in us
Thank
anyway.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
If you interested in any individual, then you're not interested in the BAIO.
yeah, and with Boyce, and I think he won like some kind of lawsuit against Syracuse. Like he sued them for millions of dollars, but it don't look like he got any of it. Like it was
Syracuse,
like
why?
he said that they had been well, and actually he won the lawsuit. He sued them because, and this is actually true, that they hadn't had a black like a high ranking like person working in their what do you call it, like as the dean or whatever in like 100 or something years, and they were just like basically saying they didn't think a black person would be qualified or something like that. Basically, it was just this racist fucking incident, and in Syracuse, nobody should be shocked. But of
Well,
course,
yo, you know what? Let me lend some context to that because that's another we could do it right here thing that just boggles my mind. Black people, we become these professors at these universities, right? And then we
yeah,
try to be pro-black. And I know a sister very well here that was a professor here in upstate New York. And what ended up happening was is that she had got behind these three sisters. I don't know if you ever heard this story, but there was these three sisters that was attacked by these white people on a bus,
mm,
and they were college sisters, and they went to the police. And then I guess the white people somehow flipped the whole story around, and it turned out it now looked like the sisters was the one causing the problems. Where
wow,
so homegirl, the professor, my friend, she was on their side from Jump Street, and when they lost that, when the tables, make a long story short, when the tables turned on the sisters, then the university moved and did whatever they could to get her out of there, and she don't work there no more.
wow,
And she was in African American studies, so you would expect her to be able to speak her mind. But the reality of it is that even in the black even in a black studies program, and you're a black person, you can't speak your mind because you got to be very sensitive to whitey. So
yeah,
quite frankly,
yeah,
us, that's another reason or another reason in of 1080 why we should have our own. Because even in your institutions where you got your own black studies, when I went to college, bro, I took black studies. It was a white dude that taught. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, and I also saw a little report that said most of the kids and teachers at historically black universities now are also white.
Yeah.
So that, so we're not even in control of our own universities anymore.
Never were.
Yeah, and say what you will about Bill Cosby, but he was the last, rich person to give any large amounts of money to a historically black university. The rest of these people, these black celebrities and athletes, they don't even come close.
Right.
So,
but to be honest with you, like, is there any incentive for them to do it?
No.
There absolutely is none. Like your best bet, if you're a rich black person, is to keep your mouth shut and stay under the radar.
Yep.
In here in this country, if you want to decide that look what happened to Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick could have kept his mouth shut, got his little salary, and did what he was supposed to do, and he'd still be playing football right now. All he did was something simple. It wasn't really anything that radical, but I guess it's radical in regards to everybody else.
Yeah.
He didn't even say anything. That's to make it so bad. He didn't say shit.
Right. Word. And now his career is over. So what's the motivation for the next rich nigga to do a goddamn thing? Nothing.
Yep.
How many people are we going to? That's why I put that mileage on the whole. Please share that video to as many places as you can. Because I'm getting so tired of people hitting me up in my inbox. Yo, watch this video before they take it down. No, nigga, watch this video before they take it down.
Oh, snap. Speak of the devil, man. This dude, Boyce, is on here right now with a video entitled How R. Kelly, well, no, not how, but why R. Kelly never had any trouble finding women. It's like, dummy. It's like the answer is because he's rich. He never had. I mean, it's like, what the hell? Like, everything else is going on. This is what you want to put stock into.
Come on, boys. Yo,
this is back to back.
Like I said, these
niggas
is creaming on themselves over this R. Kelly shit because now they have a whole bunch of shows to do. Because remember, this ain't about
content, baby.
This ain't about solutions. This is about show topics.
Yeah, this is showbiz to them, man. It's like the Apollo. That's why they're so popular, because all they do is talk about mainstream trivial crap, like we said earlier. This is why they stay getting 100,000 people. This is what they do.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It still kind of amazes me when I see Boyce Watkins doing shows about trivial shit like this. I swear it does. Maybe I'm just naive, but
nah, man.
Like,
I'm telling you, this is the goal. They sit back, especially him. They sit back waiting for the topic of the moment, the topic of the day, so they can build content off of it. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yep. They I don't know like how well his business is thriving. I would assume he's making something off of YouTube.
Yo,
if you got 100, how many subscribers he got on YouTube?
I believe he should have about 100,000. That's the last time I saw it.
Probably making with 100,000. He's probably making somewhere between 8,000 and 12,000 a month.
Damn.
If he got 100,000 people.
That's that Colonel money.
Yeah, but he's also and
that's just on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know what he's making on his side business.
Because I'm pretty sure he has super chats.
Yeah, but he don't.
He has Patreons and the rest of them crowdfunding shits.
Yeah, but he's on Your Black World. And to be honest, aside with the exception of Claude Anderson, some of his guests they're mostly okay, but long term he don't really bring nobody in there that really says anything like worth hearing. We just hear about their personal success, which is another thing about this individualism. Trying to address like using individual success to address a systemic problem.
Right.
All we hear about is what they're doing personally, like for themselves. They're not really doing much for their community. Like, if not all the people, the only person he brings on there that's worth any real value is Claude Anderson. And outside of that,
Dame
he's
Dash
not.
was a good person to bring on.
Yeah, Damon Dash is cool. But even with him, it's like the more I hear about it, the more it's just individualism. Or I invest in this.
I always hear that, man. You're gonna hear it because that's their out. Like I said, and I've said it before.
He brought Dr. Harnett on there too a while ago.
Everybody that comes on tells you about the system, and then what do they give you as a solution? Grow some tomatoes and homeschool your children.
That's all he said.
They put it right back in your lap.
Yeah,
So you sitting here listening to them thinking you getting some damn knowledge, and then they say, "Hey, nigga, what you gonna do?"
yeah. Like that's all we hear about is what they have accomplished personally. Then he'll shoot back at the fans saying, "Well, if you're black and you do this, you can do that too." It's like, wait, really? Because I mean, there are black people in this country who've been working for 30, 40, 50 years, good people, and they are broke. They retire broke. They die in debt.
Yep.
They die in
Hell
debt.
yeah.
Yeah, you found a few Negroes that squeeze through the crack, but the majority of us, that's not working. You're talking about giving people individual solutions to systemic problems. That's not going to help black people long term.
And
Go ahead.
sorry to cut you off, but
No,
here's
go ahead.
another thing that happens. Every time you find a success story, you know what they do?
What?
They cut that route, that route that you went, they cut that off. So that's why you always hear it always says the first black this, the first black that. It's never the second black, because you like, well, shit, damn, we in 2018, we still talking about the first, because they like, damn, he slipped through the hoops. How the hell he slipped through the hoops? How she slipped through the hoops? Damn, we gotta tighten up on this.
Yeah,
That's a good point, bro.
Yeah, and it's just like it's the same thing repetitively, and then Boyce, he just it's almost like he knows like this isn't gonna work, but it's almost like he's being told to do this stuff. It almost feels like when watching him sometimes like he has no real power over himself. Like I remember a while back somebody sent me a video of him. He was all the way, I think it was Guyana, and it's like
he lived there for a little while.
Yeah, and it was just like, okay, you going to a country that's known to be racist to a black vote. That I don't even know, like a lot of people know this, but the Confederacy had plantations in Guyana, and they had over 20,000 blacks working on their slaves. They had a backup plan in case the South fell apart, which eventually it did. And I heard like for years, like even after the Civil War, there was still slavery going on in Guyana, and it was brutal. And it was just like you're going to all these places doing God knows what. We never know what he's doing there. He never really tells us completely. Then he's going to England, he's going here and there. It's like you go everywhere else, but going to Africa, like going saying, okay, maybe we should go use this platform to survey some land. Like, are you going to go like land infrastructure nationhood that goes completely out the window to him? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying like he's just a big blowhorn for all these people who we could do it right here. He has this infatuation with Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan, I respect the Nation of Islam for some of the things they've done, but let's not forget that they played a role in Malcolm X's murder. They themselves don't control any real infrastructure. They do, they do some work here and there. Like they'll take young black men out of prison and give them trade skills. I think that's good. It keeps them off the street, but longevity when those skills either get used up or when everything that they're doing, when all the shit gets fixed, like these people have no money. What else are they going to do? They're going to go right back to the street, and that's what a lot of them do. They end up right back in prison.
Well, like I've always said, though, man, those models that you speak of, you know what I'm saying? There was a time for those, and you know what I mean. Like now there's a time for what's known as nationhood, and for me, I come out of that paradigm, of course, but at the same time, for me, I just think that there's we're living in a time now where all of this stuff has culminated into what are you going to do now?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So in other words, if you stand on Marcus Garvey's back, if you stand on Noble Drew Ali's back, if you stand on Honorable Elijah Muhammad or even Malcolm X's back, what are you going to do now? You know what I'm saying? And the problem has been that people have just tried to do the same damn thing they were doing. Mm-hmm. And that's to me where the problem is because you're supposed to take that and then go to the next step. And the next step was, all right, everybody talked about having their own nation. You now need to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you now need to do it. And if you don't do it, then what good is invoking those people's names? And I've seen like so many people try to use those names and, just to do the same shit that they was doing. And wonder why you have a limited success and then it always burns out is because there was a time for all of this stuff, and that time is yesterday.
Yeah, it's the same rhetoric we've been hearing since King And I'm not taking shots at Martin Luther King, but I thought he could have been sterner on some issues. But it's
Many issues.
yeah, and you know, it's the same stuff we've been hearing for years. And the one question that I've always had is, okay, if we can do it right here, why have none of y'all done it yet?
Hmm.
Yep.
What's the time frame on the doing it right here? Because we're vastly approaching the 400-year mark.
Yeah, it's like it took all of Marcus Garvey's time. It took all of little Malcolm X's time. It took all of King's time. It took all of WB. Well, I ain't going to include him in there, but But it took look about all the great black nationalists who started all these movements. It took all of their time. How much more time is it going to take? How much are
Yep.
you willing to make us wait? Like literally.
I think for one thing, this is like I'm not trying to give a history lesson, but
Mm.
when we came out of the Emancipation Proclamation, we was kind of still fending for ourselves. So we still trying to establish ourselves. It's a book that I got called Black American or African or African, the identity crisis. So we're still trying to find ourselves. So this is where all those the Nation of Islam popped up, or
Yeah.
Noble Drew Ali, all those popped up, and they trying to get those people that was just free. So they trying to reconstruct the minds, but at the same time, you reconstructing their minds, and you're trying to guide them into a place of saying like, hey, we can do it right here, we can make it happen, but you just got to follow my lead. But that lead
Right.
kind of
Right.
conflicted with other things. You know what I'm saying? So
Without a doubt, brother.
Yeah.
so it's once we got from that, then that's when the Martin Luther King thing came in, and that's kind of like where we kind of went from there. And he knew himself, like, hey, shit, damn, I fucked up, but it was too
Yeah.
late to fix that, that bad mistake. And now we are here, and this is where the BAIO come in. That's what I think.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
learned from the past. We know okay, damn, they fucked up here. Okay, he fucked up here. He got shot. Okay, we need to go to Africa and we need to do it like this. Oh,
Yeah.
Liberia was fucked up. The coup was going on there. Sierra Leone, that. Oh, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You study from your past, so this way that your future won't follow the same,
Yeah.
same fate.
Right. Right.
And this whole repetitive stuff that we talk about, what they talk about, not us.
Yeah.
They
Right.
talk about as far as like, Mom, I tell you, it's like it's Kool-Aid. Only thing different is the color, the food coloring. It's the same
Right.
shit they feed everybody every year. We're gonna get out here. We're gonna win. We gotta rise up, as Dinah said. We're gonna rise up.
Oh yeah, I love when you said that.
Yeah, man. And it's like you're gonna rise up, and you know what the white people are saying after you say that? They're saying, "Nigga, sit your ass down."
No,
Ain't gonna
hold
do
up.
nothing.
Here it goes. 2 years later, man, they done took my damn house. Man, what the hell? I ain't got nowhere to go. You see what I'm saying? They done took my job. You see what I'm saying? It's the same shit, but the people that's in power, so to say, the black power, is not really in power. So
Yeah. And they, and they feel that the people on Voices in and the people who think like them to do it right here, people, that whole concept is just lost to them. They're jockeying for position here, like they're playing checkers with these people, like invisible chess or something, and they
Yeah.
think they're winning, and they don't even realize they don't even control the game or the
Right.
board.
3D chess.
Yeah.
That's what they doing. They Dr. Spock.
I'm out,
And it's
y'all.
like,
I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
all right,
All
man.
right, man.
all right, bro. All right.
Yeah,
Peace, peace.
and on a larger scale, when you look at it, they're playing 3D chess, but they're losing badly. They can't get nobody elected. The people they do get elected occasionally. They are huge sellouts, huge letdown. They don't control the money that these politicians are dipping their hands into, so they lose control of them once other people start putting money into them. They don't have nobody. Y'all can't even get nobody elected, and the few people y'all do get elected, they proceed to going right to Washington and not doing nothing for you. So so much for that.
Yeah, and I always say, if you are in power, show me that you're in power. Like the Flint, Michigan shit. Yeah, let's go ahead and get behind that. Yeah, we behind them shit. They still don't have no fucking good water.
Yeah, it's poisonous. It's like, has anybody so far told these people to pour their resources together? Maybe they ought to try to own something out there, like the people, like the water power plant or whatever it's called, so they can get some water out there. Like, is anybody telling them to pour their resources? I don't hear not one single black leader doing that.
And how
Nobody's
many
doing
of
that.
these do it? How many of these we was here first people was over at Standing Rock?
Right.
It's
It's not
amazing.
so.
It's amazing how when something is going on politically, they are nowhere to be found. But they on Facebook though, making memes with Tommy Davidson on it.
Oh God.
And I don't think that it's the water itself. It's just the bad lead pipes that they have in there.
Yeah.
They need to take down the old infrastructure that they have, the water system, and replace them. It's just as simple as that.
That's socialism.
I don't know how simple is that. Like, how can you argue against? Okay, damn, my people over here dying.
Because it's socialism.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and think about, do we need to replace these pipes? Even though I know that the case is staggering, saying that these people are dying and they got all kind of ailments from this shit. But I'm gonna sit back and I'm a politic over it. Let's go ahead. Go ahead. Let me go ahead and get paid and only work like 70 something days or 100 something days, and then think about it next year. That's crazy. Come on.
Yeah. And I heard an old saying from somebody online once. They said, the difference between American socialism and European socialism. European socialism actually works. That's where they get their free healthcare. That's where they get the college, the free, cheaper or free college. That's where they get, I don't hear stories like this coming out of European countries. It's always
what
America.
the mindset is? The mindset of governments all over the world is we have to take care of our citizens.
Yep.
That's the mindset of developed nations across the world. So like for them, healthcare and all that stuff is a no-brainer. That's not even something that they even give much thought to. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to do that. Because we want our people to have a good quality of living so that way they don't raid our fucking government and put us on, the guillotine.
Right.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Man.
But they don't have that problem over here because there hasn't been a French Revolution here in America where the people stood against the aristocracies.
Right. Because the old saying goes, when people are afraid of their government, that's tyranny. When the government is afraid of the people, that's democracy. Say,
Right.
Okay, well, right
That's
now,
why in France, do you think the people in power forgot about those guillotines?
Nah.
They scared to death of their population. That's why they can protest and they can do whatever, and they're not going to really get much resistance from the French government.
Yeah, they're not going to get no resistance from them. That's just not going to happen. They're still afraid of their people.
Yeah.
But honestly, I honestly think that with the U.S. government constantly showing people all these drones and tanks, I think there's just a natural people just naturally fear the government. They say, well, and it's not like they haven't used it on some of our own citizens. I still remember the story of the black guy in Philly they bombed.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, just because he said black people should love each other, he wasn't saying no radical stuff, not really. And they just said, what time? There's another Negro speaking that black power crap. Let's just drop a bomb on them.
See, but what people don't realize is that when you say the government, what are you really saying? Because people work for the government.
Right.
People have families. So anybody that thinks that's why, like, when people used to tell me about Alex Jones, that fucking non-idiot, used to always be talking about FEMA camps and how the government's gonna do it. I was like, listen, nigga, when things break down, it's gonna be like The Walking Dead. There's not gonna be no government doing anything.
Nope.
No, except protecting the people that they think are most valuable.
The government is going to be gone because the people, like I said, the government is made of people, and people are going to go to their families, and then it's going to be like The Walking Dead. It's going to be a bunch of whoever is the strongest crew in a particular area.
Yeah.
Right.
All the biker gangs and drug cartels are going to take over small communities.
Until well, hold up. That's too much. You thinking you going beyond the people's minds, man, because they don't understand that logic right there. Like, the people are the government. It's not the other way around. It's like this unknown force that's working against you. No,
No.
the government, the 800,000 people that's not getting paid is the government. That
Right.
shows you the numbers.
Yeah. And I want to feel bad. I feel bad for most of them. That's
No,
terrible.
I do. No, I feel bad for them because you know what? I'm here and I still get paid. You know, you still work. You still have some private contractors that are that do get paid from the government. But guess what? The government personnel that pays them the check is not working. So guess what?
Oh,
That
God.
private person is not getting paid.
Yo,
Oh,
the thing that
God.
should really be scaring people, I don't know if y'all saw what I posted, is the so-called non-essential people that are not working at the airports
Mm-hmm.
that actually do safety checks. They decided that that's non-essential. Did you know that for all those people that's planning on traveling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay away from white people. That's all I have to say.
But what they
Man,
call it
I
though.
wish, man. I wish we had that
Man.
option.
Yeah.
But what they call that though? That's a national security issue, right?
Of course.
But you don't want to pay the person that's actually doing their job.
Right.
Yeah. Like when
And
they send these.
this is
Yeah.
this is why I say, like, anybody who thinks, I have a problem with anybody who treats Donald Trump like he's a rational, reasonable person with an agenda. Donald Trump is like a kid burning ants with a magnifying glass.
Oh, good Lord.
Mm.
Like anybody that thinks that, like, that's why when I hear certain people who lean Republican talking about how Donald Trump he sat down with us and he did this, man, that nigga don't fucking know what he's gonna do from 1 minute to the next. You think that you
He
actually he's supporting anything that you about?
Yeah.
hold up. You're giving him too much credit. He don't even know why he's sitting there. What are you talking
Thank
about?
you.
Yeah. Like, and we just had like about
Donald Trump spoke
yeah.
to us.
Yeah,
Look
like
at
we
that
got
fucking
some.
pathetic.
Yeah, we just had some black people right now talking about some. Well, they may not vote Republican, but at least Donald Trump was willing to sit and speak with them. And then
About what?
basically they tried to get him to do something about, if I'm not mistaken, something about crime in the black community and how it relates to all these police shootings of
Do you see how
unarmed black
easy it
people.
is? We are
Yeah,
so fucking easy,
yeah,
man.
and he doesn't even, and he doesn't, and it's real clear. Donald Trump has no idea what he's doing, but these black people are taking pride in the fact that he at least sat down with them.
Right. That's
That's
how
all it is.
sad and pathetic we are.
Hold up. He sat down with those plant workers too, and guess what? As soon
And they
as he
all
got
lost their
elected,
jobs.
they all lost their jobs. So that's
Mhm.
irrelevant to. That's kind of like, okay, now what you talking about? Come
Donald
on,
Trump
let's.
don't have a plan.
No.
That's what. Did you ever see that movie with Keanu Reeves? What was it? Where he was playing the what's it? Constantine.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You see that?
Yeah. When he
And the
lost
guy
his wings.
said, God has a plan. And then Constantine said, God doesn't have any plan. He said just what I said. He said, God is a kid with a magnifying glass burning ants. He doesn't give a shit about any of us.
Well,
And that's Donald Trump. Donald Trump has no plan. Donald Trump is like fucking just jerking off to fucking Kim Kardashian pictures.
Oh,
Over his wife.
ew. Man.
But here's the thing, like for the black talking heads and stuff, not to change subject, but the black talking heads is like, hold up, when you're trying to get your point across, what do you do first? Every time you come on, you do something first. Because you always do it. Everybody does it. They just don't realize what they're doing.
What you mean when I first come on the show?
Yeah.
I introduce myself. Say
Okay,
hi.
you introduce yourself and you explain what you give a pitch, right? You give
Right.
your pitch.
Right.
You explain what's going on, and then you go into X, Y, and Z. So that's like your motivator. And then you go into your motivator. That's all these talking head does. So like when I go through these classes and about instructor and all that stuff, and it's the same thing that we gotta we give the pitch. You give your motivator, you give your opening statement, and it's like, oh shit, what the fuck these guys are doing? And then you got to sell the point at the end. The outcome is what? They're always outcome is for what? They're always to get is something that we are trying to get here just like us. We're just trying to get members to understand that it's a collective it's a collective thing for us to come together and build our nation and get land and infrastructure. Boris Watkins, his is about getting that money. Tariq Nasheed, his is about getting money as well. The means that he uses, as far as like he uses entertainment, he uses some Black history, so on and so forth. So does everybody else. But at the end of the day, it's always an agenda behind it. It's always the pitch that gets you. Oh shit, I like that shit.
Yeah.
So you like Holip's introduction and when he do his cuts, it always gets me. I'm like, damn, I love Amos. Oh shit, that shit is. Let me hear what he's talking about. And then the closing is always the key. Love it.
Yeah. And he claims that, Boyce, I think he said something about they have their own school, the Black Business School. I haven't. I'm still yet to hear anybody who's come out of there and said they had a good time and all that other stuff. It's from some of the people that like comment on the bottom of his videos. I swear, I think they all troll like fake accounts. You can tell. It's just like it has like a 99% satisfaction rate, and I said, okay, well.
So you talking about my comments?
No, in Boyce's. He's just like, oh God, like he's just dragging these people along, and I don't even think they realize they don't have no power to do any of the stuff they're talking about.
I think it's just comfortable. Like people tend to gravitate towards shit where if you'd have as little personal responsibility as possible. When you can put it off on somebody else, it makes it just easier for you to deal with your situation. And these guys let them know, hey, Black people, it ain't that you ain't out here trying to establish your own. It's not that you just don't want to have responsibility for your life. It's white supremacy.
Right.
That's what it is. That's the reason why you can't do this and that. It's the white man that's keeping you from doing it. And that's easier. It's like Linus Blanket from the Peanuts. It comforts you.
Yeah.
But when you start talking about personal responsibility, and that's why I always get on these guys who talk about personal responsibility, because I always say that they fucking hypocrites. They don't believe in the concept.
Right.
How you gonna? The ultimate personal responsibility is nationhood.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yet you don't support that. So how much are you really for personal responsibility?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
You want Black power, but you don't want Black power. Which one is it? I want Black power, but I don't want to control the infrastructure. You know what the type of Black power they want? They want the type of Black power that when you go to sleep at night and it's a snowstorm, you can get up in the morning and go to work because the white man is taking care of the roads and the highways for you.
Right.
He's got his trucks out there and he's cleared all the snow so you can get where you have to go. You don't have to be responsible for that. Let daddy do it for you.
You throwing shade over here, Holip?
And then you're gonna talk,
I'll just mess with you.
and then you're gonna talk bad about daddy while he's providing all of these services for you.
And then bash other Black people who go to work on it.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, you want us to support Black businesses, but you don't want us to get a job. Like how we supposed like, okay, so when I go to buy something from a Black business, am I supposed to get him an IOU? like
They don't think it through, son. They don't think it through. Because it's a lot easier to judge people. It's a lot easier to attack people. It's a lot easier to play holier than thou than to actually be a nuanced thinker and think about things from a more than a one-dimensional standpoint. It's a lot easier to just be a fucking moron.
Yeah. It's just sad. And it's just like, you're bashing people saying, "Oh, you working for the white man, so you can't be trusted, and you lazy, you're coon, this and that." It's like, okay, so what do you do for a living?
Yeah, where do you live? Do you live in America? Because last time I checked, if you're living in America, we all finance the white man.
And in return, they give
Yeah,
us a
exactly.
check.
There's
Yeah,
no
hey,
exceptions to that rule. Even if you got your own business, you finance the white man.
Yeah, they
I
taking
think
taxes. Go ahead,
yeah.
my bad.
No, you good. So the reality is some
Mhm.
for some people, they need to realize that anything they do in America benefits the white person,
Right.
regardless of how you look at it. Even
What's
if you
that
own your
clip that
own
I play
business.
at the beginning of all of my videos by Amy
Exactly.
Wilson?
And this is why it sticks with me, bro. And it's like a catcher to me. I'm like, damn, this shit is tight. I didn't think about it like that. So it puts you in the thought of like, damn, you know what? I'm fighting against myself right now. So I think I need to make adjustments to my thought, you know?
Right. It's not just a
Yeah,
coincidence.
Right. And this is
yeah.
where me and my brother Dynas, we kind of like had different opinions, views. I was like, well, you know, Dynas, you working in the corporate America, you still paying taxes, bro. You paying me to do the dirty job. You just not doing it directly.
Oh, you're talking about over that military thing?
Yeah, so I was like, look, you doing me to do the dirty job. You paying me to do the dirty job. So I
I
mean,
still
but
I make the statement to Kala because I think me and Kala get into this probably the most more than anything. And I accuse Kala of being a we can do it right here, dude.
hmm,
The reason why I say because if you're sitting
interesting.
back and you're still concentrating on these everything, all the ill behaviors and all of the things that's going through our community as a result of us being here,
Yeah.
Right.
isn't that running contradictory to what we're trying to do?
Sorry. Yeah.
Why shouldn't we be talking about that instead of talking about all of the ills of the black community? What's the point? Are we talking about the ills of the black community because we want to make a better America? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It doesn't make any sense.
yeah,
If we're supposed to be for land infrastructure nationhood, then that's what we should be concentrating on.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
This
don't
is the
even.
correction.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't even focus on the negativity in our community anymore.
Yeah,
It's not
why?
because it's not because I don't care, but growing up in Glen Harbor, Maryland, you grew up in the hood, kind of, and so it's like you already know what goes on there. You know the problem now that you're better educated. You know it's poverty. You know it's a very a lot of varying factors. I don't even want to hear it no more. Right now, I'm looking for positive solutions.
We already know what the solution is, so why we keep talking about the problem?
Right.
Yep.
That's the best way to put it. If you know what the solution is, why are you constantly going over the problem? Because if you're doing that, you're not doing anything different than the rest of these black talking heads do. And I'm not
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make videos keep talking about weaves and perms and light skin and dark skin and this and that and all this other bullshit. We already know what the solution is. Let's concentrate on that. Let's do shows about that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing else to add on to that. Yeah. Like I don't like okay, like I think that black people should invest money, but at the same time, I think it would be also applicable to teach them how the market works. Like I don't see like they.
But isn't that the funny part, man? All right. All the brothers that's on this phone right now, and most of the people in the BAIO that I know of,
Mhm.
if I post something up showing how some black community started a food co-op,
Oh
is
yeah.
anybody in the BAIO tearing it down?
No.
Nope.
We
No.
all support it.
Yeah.
Even though we not for to do it right here stuff, we say, all right, well, if you're gonna do it right here, that's the way to do it.
Yep.
How come we can't get some of that?
Yeah.
Why can't we get some of that encouragement? They just tear our shit down no matter what we doing.
Yeah. And the one thing I keep hearing is that me and Kyla heard this before. I thought it was kind of funny that somebody said that the reason why they don't support the BAI or nationhood is because we're gonna go over there, we're gonna get everything that we want, the nation, everything, and then somebody's gonna declare themselves the king, and then we're gonna end up fighting each other and we're gonna burn it down.
In the
That's what they said.
meantime, they're here in a country that's run by Donald Trump. And they're totally comfortable with it. They're not leaving. They have no plans of denouncing their citizenship. They're going to stay right here under King Donald. But yet their problem is about some imaginary king of a nation that hasn't even been established yet. And I'm supposed to fucking take you seriously? No, you don't support the BAIO because you are a bootlicking nigga. That's why you don't support the BAIO, because you love the white man and you love this country. Be honest. Don't come up with some fantasy bullshit to explain away or justify why you don't support nationhood. Just say that you're a fucking clown.
I think they still looking at those damn feed the poor the poor in Africa.
Yeah,
fucking videos,
and they think that that's a generalization of all of Africa. So they're like,
that's what I really think.
Yeah.
Well, stay right here in America where you get your ass shot in your own backyard.
Yep, I'm like, I ain't going to Africa.
Since
Shit,
you
look at
feel
them.
so safe in this country, stay here and drive through the highways in your nice expensive car.
Not to mention that there are over 20 plus million people starving here in the United States. So
hold up, the time out though. You remember the guy a couple of guys in a backyard got killed in their own backyard.
Yeah.
Mind you, this is their own personal property. In their backyard, a cop came over and shot him.
Yeah.
And they think that this is what they want?
This is safe, though. It's safe here.
Come on.
You don't want to go to Africa where it's dangerous. You want to be right here in America where it's safe for black folks.
And the crime rate there is not even like the crime rate it is here.
More people get shot and killed.
Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Stop being a pussy. You afraid to go outside? Really?
God.
Everywhere you go in the world, there's a chance that you might get killed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does that stop you from traveling?
You can get killed sitting on your own front porch.
You could get killed in your apartment. People killed by stray bullets coming through their windows. There's the constant fear. There's no guarantees, nigga. Stop being a punk.
Yeah.
We keep coddling to these punk motherfuckers, man. Just across the board. Oh, I'm scared. So let's find a way to make it so that you're not as scared. No, you a bitch, and stop being a bitch and man up.
Oh yeah, at least think for your damn self.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, more people get shot and killed in this country than most other nations.
Exactly.
That's
more people are in jail in this country than any other nation.
So I think you safer somewhere the hell else at this point.
You stand a chance to get killed no matter what you do. You could be walking down the street and a scaffold come and drop on your ass. There's so many ways that you can die. You can die by getting hit by a bus or a car, skips and jumps on the sidewalk and kills. There's so many ways you can get killed. So what are you going to do? Your solution is to lock yourself in your apartment, and then guess what? There might be something in there to get you.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing. According to the CDC, you have a better chance of dying of cancer than you do to be murdered by somebody else.
Thank you.
And then most of the people who are murdered by somebody else are usually affiliated with criminal organizations. So you want to live a long life, don't join gangs, don't join the mob. You usually tend to find out pretty well.
And it still ain't no guarantee.
Yeah.
Nope.
So you have a choice. You can run throughout the rest of your life being scared of every little thing around the corner, or you just live your life. Go out and do what you want to do and stop being a bitch. Stop being a punk. Stop being white. How about that? Because you can't get more of a bitch than they are.
Yo, where Kofi at though? Where Kofi?
Yeah.
Damn, Kofi.
He got his Denzel picture up. Is it on mute?
Yeah, I see.
I was talking to my brothers real quick.
Oh, okay. I'm like, damn, what the hell?
But yeah, man, I've been thinking of ways to, like, if I had to leave now, how would I get into Africa? You know, I would definitely have to either jump on a boat. I could save a couple $100. Yeah, man. If we
I
shit,
plan on going this summer. I plan on going this summer. I got a trip
I
planned.
would, I would definitely get on a plane, and I would pick the most vulnerable nation, which is most of them, and I would just slowly, you know, build right then and there. Shit, you could go into the jungle. Most Africans are. All right, I'm talking on my ass, but most Africans are fucking trying to escape Africa from the cities. And I just feel like the reason why they're doing that is because they're so ignorant. They don't really know how to like build within their nation. They're kind of brainwashed into the Western way, and America's going to take care of us just like they're doing for the people who are able to leave the country and then come back, and they just look like they have money because they just went to a European nation, right? They went to America. They went to the United States, and I've just been like studying how things are going on the continent. The people who have the exiled Panthers who go into Africa and then they're living there 30, 40 years
Yeah,
versus the people who are leaving. I think about the stuff. I think about the legal way and I think about the illegal way.
yeah.
Well,
And the
How
funny,
many people?
I can tell you, I can't speak for anybody else, but as far as me, I have no intention of going over to another country as an individual. I want to go as a part of a collective.
Right.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
too much. It's too much of this individual shit going on, and
True
that's
that.
that's the reason why nothing gets done. Because it's like it scatters our forces and it keeps us all over the place. We need to move as a unit.
Yep.
yeah,
It's
Exactly.
not
And I
that
think we,
yeah,
I,
difficult.
I think we talked about that in the chat, hold up, with me and Odos. You remember we was talking about creating businesses, and we just was brainstorming, and like I got so
Right.
much shit going on right now. Like when I get to North Carolina, trust me, and me and Odos we gonna talk, and of course you, but you know what I'm saying. It's just like we limit ourselves because we only know this right here. You don't want to take
Right.
that chance that our ancestors themselves they did it themselves too. Everybody
Hmm.
still, contrary to what people say, black people in America back during slavery, we trying to get the fuck out of here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Liberia was the most gangster shit I
Exact.
ever read. That was the
Next,
most
Nah, no.
gangster
So
shit I ever
so
read.
so Liberia, yeah, Liberia was one, but Sierra Leone is like that time frame, the Dunlop proclamation. If you ever know about that one, where
Hmm.
they had the Ethiopian, they call it the Ethiopian army. They
yeah,
created where they went they was like, yo, it's either you fight for us and get your freedom. It's kind of like they was playing on both sides, the Patriots, and then you got your British. That they was playing on both sides.
yeah,
And the black people was like, shit, freedom? Fuck, I'm out, baby. If you ain't coming, I'm gone. You can stay here all you want.
Hmm.
They went to Canada and they was like, Canada, nah, it's too cold up here. Fuck this. We want something else. We need some warmth. So this is where Sierra Leone came in at. So you
Mm.
know what I'm saying? So we was always trying to get the fuck out of here. But it's just like some of those that want to stay here kind of hinders like the progress or the movement of moving forward. Because everybody, you had kids, you had family, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff like played into like I
And that's the
mean,
reason why, like the way that I deliver the message is to let people know that just because there are some black people that want to go to Africa, it isn't in no way, shape, or form a threat to the people that want to stay in America.
mm-hmm.
yeah. Nobody in the
It's not one
BAIO,
or the other.
yeah, nobody in the BAIO has ever called for a mass exodus of black folk to go back to
Right.
Africa. Nobody's ever said that. Nobody,
50
nobody.
million
Nope.
people.
Yeah, nobody said that. Now, one thing is we don't want everybody to go because we know some of these dudes are full of shit. They're not doing anything.
I'd be down to get 12 motherfuckers on the African continent and a piece of a land as a team. I'd be down for that.
Right.
10 or 12 talented people going somewhere, survey a piece of land and map it out. Man, please. You don't need 1,000 motherfuckers. You don't need 1,000,000 people.
Yeah, Israel was
Nope.
founded with less than 20 people.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's this movie called Mountains in the Moonlight. No, Mountains in the Moon, and it tells you the story of these Englishmen. I gotta get their names, but it tells you the story of these Englishmen just going into, I believe West Africa, are coming from East Africa, and they were trying to find the source of the Nile, and they had they had guns, but their guns couldn't really do shit, with the massive like tribes that they would come up against, but they would just fight their way in. And the first time they tried to do it, they failed. One of the guys got a fucking spear through his fucking mouth, and then
Jesus.
they like regrouped. They went back to England, and then they came back and they did it again.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
and then that's the badass shit. I'm talking about. It's like we shouldn't get weaker as we go on into the future. We should get stronger.
Why? Why? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, we just don't understand the concept of backing up and regrouping and going forward again. It's like every
No, I
Right.
didn't.
loss is just
No, I didn't.
it's like a career defining moment, a loss. That
Uh-huh.
loss
Yeah.
represents everything that you are. That sounds like a loser to me.
Yeah.
Everybody, Michael Jordan always said, you don't know about the shots I didn't make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he don't define
Exactly.
himself by his losses. That.
But we define ourselves by our losses. So Liberia, no more nationhood. That's it.
According to them.
Yeah, can't do it no more.
Maybe we ought to tell the Ethiopians. Maybe they should go call Italy and tell them, hey, you know what? Change your plans. You can go. We can go ahead and bow down. We want to. We want y'all to come over here and teach us how to make spaghetti, lasagna, and we can learn Italian. We want to go ahead and disrespect the people that some of the young boys that were as young as 16 who went to the battlefield of Ottawa and gave their lives just so Ethiopia could remain a black independent nation.
Mm.
With that kind of logic, maybe we should go ahead and go tell the Haitians, hey, maybe y'all should give yourself back to France and go ahead and go back and pick the sugar cane.
Right.
Oh, the life expectancy there. Whew. In Haiti with the sugar cane.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, we got a lot of history, and nobody really want to pay attention to that and like learn from our history.
Mm-hmm.
We got the numbers, we got the experience, and we got the knowledge to build our own, to sustain our own self. We just need to get up under the idea that white people is gonna do it for us. We got to do it for ourselves, and not these pedestal people. These pedestal people that they put out there. You got to be wary of those guys that they put out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Have anybody done any
I'm going
research
in there now.
into
I just
this
gotta get my charger.
Wakanda One Village?
The Wakanda what?
Wakanda One.
Wakanda One Village
I ain't never heard of it.
through
No, I
the
think I've
African
seen that in the
Union.
chat.
I saw a
I think I've
post.
seen it.
It's a representative for the United States, and she's an ambassador for the African Union. Her name is Dr. Arigana Jihambari Kwa.
Right.
I know her name is crazy.
You
And
probably
what
have
is
to
it?
ask Dynas about that. He probably know a
Yeah.
little bit more about that.
Yeah, I'm about to ask, what is it supposed to
Well,
be
they're
for?
giving 132 hectares of land for the project. Well, Zambia offered 132 hectares.
Only thing that concerns me is I'm just not seeing a lot of details to that.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I was looking
yeah.
it up on the site, and I want to know. I have some questions about that.
Yeah, like who's actually going to be in control of the infrastructure for one.
Right.
And
Because it's supposed to be for diaspora Africans, but I'm not seeing or how are we controlling that? Or is
yeah,
that even, or is it, because when we say diaspora Africans, we have a totally different definition than what most people do.
right.
So what are they talking about?
Yeah. Are
Because
they
their
talking
idea
about?
of a diaspora African could be somebody that was originally from Africa and is an immigrant in another country. That's not a diaspora African to me. That's a continental African.
Yeah.
Right.
Diaspora African would be us and people in other countries who weren't born in Africa.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, it's some questions that I have. Also, in terms of the financing of it, because they were talking about something about people can donate or invest or don't. I don't know, but they had some type of fund that was created that where people can put money into it. I want to know about that.
Yeah.
Who's behind that? Who's controlling it?
Yeah.
Because I try not to be too, emotional and sentimental when people come up with these concepts, because that's how people get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Give me the nuts and bolts of it. What is this actually going on here?
Right.
Yeah. It's just crazy. I can't really even say anything else about it. I think it sounds like a good idea, but we don't know who's going to be in full control of it.
Right.
Yeah, I
'Cause if
think for the most part the land acquisition still plays a big part of people understanding how it goes. Whole, because you remember we did the show about that and how it breaks down, like, customer so and so and so, and it breaks down to what we trying to get and what we trying to build.
Right.
So most people think that when they look at the BAIO, they just think that here's an organization, we just going to move in and we're going to be living in la la land. No, they don't understand that we have to acquire this land and we have to build upon that with our knowledge and experience, with
Right.
our blood, sweat, and tears, so to say.
And I don't know
So
how
I
they can
think
think that when the first thing we always require to know where you're from and what do you do.
right.
Like if you come to BAIO, we want to know what you do. What's your profession? What's your field of interest?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you here? Like you're just going to come into an organization and sit back while everybody does everything for you?
Right.
Or are you going to participate in what's going on? And
Yeah.
I feel for the most part, we do get people who come in and they're really proactive and they're self-starters because that's what we need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
not really interested in any of these people. And also another thing, the sisters did a show called Connect, Not Convince. And I agree with that.
right.
I want to connect with people of like mind. I'm not trying to convince nobody of anything. Because
Yep.
I didn't need no convincing.
Damn sure ain't need no
Yeah.
convention from me.
Yeah, I ain't need no. All you got to know
Uh,
is the concept is land, infrastructure, nationhood, a nation state of our own, independent. I'm down for that.
Principles, baby. Yep.
yeah.
What I have to give you another PowerPoint presentation for you to understand that or be down with it?
Yeah. Like think about it like this: we control the context of our own reality on a social, economical, and political level. We're making money to benefit ourselves and to benefit the country. And we have a government would have a government that will work for our interests. Put it like that.
Hmm.
We're not going to be second and third class citizens no more. No more unarmed black people getting shot and the cops getting a paid vacation for it. No more none of that.
I can't wait to go when we go to Rwanda so I can take some pictures with some
Oh
cops.
Yeah.
I
man,
want to take
listen
some
here.
pictures with the police.
Hey,
Oh shit.
when I get there, man, I don't know. I don't know what I might do. I might have to give that statement out. What Dundada does here does not reflect the views of the BAIO. But yeah, but no, our intention is to go out there and enjoy ourselves, but actually bring something back to the people. Hopefully, more people come with us, so that's less people that have to, that can actually express the experience that we went out there and did. So
Yeah,
that's the
man.
goal. And I got like 5 people that's on board too. So
Oh, cool.
5
I
people
know.
on board.
Kofi, have you spoke? Well, I know Belle's been mad busy. I haven't even been able to get up with her. But I do think, didn't she give us the itinerary?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you still have that?
Yeah, I got it. I sent it to
Can you
Odos.
forward that? Can you forward that to Kofi?
Yeah. Yeah. Just Kofi sent it in the back chat.
Hello.
And I'll just send your I think you sent it in
Yeah, he posted
the
his email
BAO
in the
messenger. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll just send it to that. I'll send it to you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna send you the itinerary of the trip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bell been mad busy. Also, I was supposed to be doing a flyer for it too. So, I told her I'll do that. Because I
Oh,
know
cool.
Bell been mad busy. Yeah. So I'll just do a flyer. I'll probably do like 3 flyers. The initial one, and then I'm gonna work it up to make it to where it's the
I want to
one that
know, like,
everybody loves.
we should we definitely got to get deposits in, right, at a certain time.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we probably have to get with Belle on that. So when she comes available, which we still got some time too.
Hmm.
So she'll let us know, hey, this is what it's gonna take, and this is the deposit. The more people we have, the less the price is gonna be for the whole trip.
Right.
So when Belle Danos get free up, just hit her up.
What the hell? Hold on a
Uh-oh.
second. I'm getting hit so much I don't even know where it's coming from. Oh, that's Kala.
Ah,
You don't know I'm on the show.
He know you on the show because he's in the damn
Yeah, what are you calling me for?
Oh, I think he probably. Hey, won't you just go ahead and send him the link?
No, I ain't sending Kala no link. Kala gotta listen to what's going on. We done heard enough of Kala talking. He gotta listen to everything that everybody's saying. I know it's killing him right now.
The bottom line is, what's up, Kyla?
Is he in the chat room? I'm not even looking at the chat room.
He was in the chat room. I haven't seen him in a minute.
yeah, I thought I saw him a
Um.
minute ago.
Yeah, we done heard enough of Kala talking. I think he's gotten his voice heard.
I am
Yeah.
Lucy's in there. Love that sister, yo. Love her
Yeah.
energy.
Peace,
I spoke
sis.
to some. I was speaking to some guys from Rwanda. This was one guy. His name is Adam. He's a computer science guy, and I was telling him he has a big family. He has like a family, three, I guess two boys, a girl, and a wife. I told him to like take videos of like him inviting us to Rwanda, like him saying like, "Oh, come to Rwanda," or "Be the BAIO, we welcome you," like some type of slogans to
Yeah,
use for like a video, you know.
yeah,
And
definitely.
I'm trying to reach out to like more. I'm trying to reach out. I'm in contact with over there, just
And
through
also
social media.
try to get him to come into the group
Okay, okay.
because we
There's
need
been
his
a lot of
mention.
people grab. It's been a lot of people. I'm sorry, hold up. It's been a lot of people been joining the BIO, the name site too. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've seen that. I
Hmm.
actually fixed my notification, so I logged in. So now I get the notifications now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of professional people, which is what I like people that's actually doing something. If they're not in their profession, they're interested in it, which is good.
I am Lucy said Kala hogs the conference call. Yes, I'm snitching.
That ain't even snitching. That's like obvious. Everybody
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah, and we would like more women of the BIO to like speak to. You know.
Yo, that's what I meant to ask you. Did I miss Miss Militant's show? Because didn't she say she was doing it? I think she was doing. She said something about the first week in January. But did it happen and did I miss it?
No, because I didn't see it either. So I don't know.
So she probably hasn't done it yet.
No, she probably been busy though. You remember she was still doing her she's doing school or something like that. Or working or something
Oh.
like that. So she probably didn't get freed up yet. So I don't know.
Well, I'd rather that she didn't do it because I didn't want to miss that. So
Oh yeah, right.
glad I didn't miss it.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
But I know she said that she was doing a show in the first week in January, so she must have pushed it back or something. Because I haven't seen her
Yeah.
online.
Probably so. Definitely when I get to North Carolina, I'll start a couple of shows. Subscribers. I think I got like 20 subscribers thanks to you. But anyway, yeah. And I'll hit up ODOS and we'll talk about some stuff and try to come up with a couple of shows. Also, I would like to talk about the guys Brain. What's the name of that show? Brain something. Those guys got a great show too. They was on there the last time. They be talking about some good stuff. We call it coding and transportation and all that good stuff. So they pretty much on it.
Fatty Black was talking about.
Yeah, those guys is pretty deep. Yo, they legit though. I listen to their show. They straight. I like them.
Cool. We need to connect with them, man. 'Cause that's what I'm about, man. I'm just so tired of our forces being scattered. We got to start coming together like Voltron, man.
Collis say he's coming up for a funeral to NYC.
Yeah, he told me his cousin had passed.
Patrick
I don't
also
know.
wanted to meet too. Fatty Black wanted to meet sometime.
Yeah. I don't know when he's gonna be here, but I know we're gonna hook up when he does come here.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely be down to hook up too.
But yeah. So hold up. So this is a great show, man. I love this show.
Yeah.
Especially talking with the brothers and just to let you guys know that I'll be on the East Coast. So if you're on the East Coast, I'll be traveling. When I'm traveling, I would definitely stop by and kick it. I don't need like a whole group to kick it. Just get with you guys one-on-one, see what's going on, and we can move on from there because that's how it starts.
Oh, you coming to New York?
Yeah, I always come to New York. I'm from New York, baby.
Okay. When you planning on being here?
I'll probably come to New York in probably I got my cousin's wedding is in February, so it'll be March time frame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll be up there.
That's cool.
I still got family everywhere. I got my whole family's on the whole East Coast, so we spread out.
Yeah, that's cool. Definitely down.
And is Kofi in New York too?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, he was at the meet and greet, right? Right, Holip?
Yeah.
Okay,
Him
cool.
and Patty Black, Patrick.
Okay, yeah, it's been a minute since I've been back to Brooklyn now. I gotta eat in Brooklyn. So I know some spots out there though.
Oh yes, man.
That spot we went to was pretty good.
The Amarachi was fire.
I actually went back there with my girlfriend a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
Oh, okay. That's what's up, man. I'm definitely trying to hit everybody up, yo.
Yeah, and it's no problem for us to like travel to the south, until
Is Deontay still on?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just learning.
Deontay, where you located at?
Man, originally I'm from Landover, Maryland, but my family we relocated to West Virginia.
Okay.
And there's nobody out here.
Blacksmith.
Oh, y'all in the fucking mountains then. You in the mountain part?
Oh hell no, man. We moved just a little bit away from Hagerstown. We're in Martinsburg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're in Martinsburg.
Okay.
We wouldn't go that far back, man. But I tried to look up a chapter for the BAIO. Out here, there's like nothing. It's just me. So I just said, yeah. But before that, we used to live in Waldorf, Maryland. I didn't know Waldorf, Maryland had a chapter. It was like filled with people. So yeah. So I said I'm going to have to make my way back to Waldorf when I can and hook up with the local chapter and get to know everybody. Like ASAP.
Yeah, I gotta definitely get on the ball and encourage people to like try to connect with the people in their chapter. Like we need to start doing more Google Hangouts and just connecting and communicating with each other.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was gonna talk to you about. Like, if you want to come up with some shows or whatever, man, we can come up with some shows. It's all good to me because I will be freed up for at least the first couple of months.
Sorry,
and
podcast. I didn't know we was gonna go this long.
First couple of months. So February, March, April. I'll be freed up. So
Yeah.
just let me know, Holip. And anybody, just let me know. Shit, it's all good. I know I'm gonna hit
Yeah.
Odos up because I told him I'll hit him up after the New Year's.
Cool.
Well,
So that's it.
yeah. Quick question for everybody, since this is it. How about a sports question?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna save this. I'm just gonna ask one
If it
time.
ain't got nothing to do with the Giants, I don't want to hear it.
Come on, this one's good. This one's
Nah, I'm
good.
just messing with you, man. Go ahead.
This one's good. Manny Pacquiao or Adrian Broner? Does he pull the upset over Pacquiao?
Oh Jesus.
Mm.
I don't care about either one of them niggas. But I dislike Bronner probably more than I do Pacquiao, so
But Broner, he's not that bad.
yeah.
Yeah, me for that fight, it'd be more of an entertainment for me. Like, okay, one of you guys lost. It's all good.
Did anybody see the Nunez Cyborg fight?
Oh yeah, I did, man. It was gory.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Man, people sleep on Amanda Nunez. She got them hands, boy. She put her hands on you, you going out.
Oh man. Oh, okay, yeah. Was she like? Yeah,
She smoked her.
she was swinging. Like she was landing like those heavy blows.
Oh yeah, yeah. She got hands, man.
No.
Like it was calculated. Like one,
She's the
two.
reason. She's the reason why Ronda Rousey is in the WWE.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. She was doing it like cadence. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I was like, damn. Shit.
my God.
Cyborg, to knock out Cyborg is no joke. She ain't been knocked out in like damn near 20 years.
Man, do y'all think Floyd should come back and give Pacquiao one more match or no?
No, I think Floyd.
Nah.
I want to see
Floyd
Floyd.
need to.
I want to see Floyd fight Terrence Crawford. That would be a
No,
fight.
I
Oh
don't.
no, I don't want to see that.
I don't.
Crawford. I think Crawford could beat Floyd.
That's why I don't
No.
want to see it.
Oh, y'all ruined all the fun.
No,
Floyd did what he's supposed to do. He don't need. That's like asking Michael Jordan to come back and play against Harden. It's like, why?
right.
They did what they had to do. Move on. Enjoy your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Floyd should do what actually. Those little exhibitions where they paying him all this crazy amount of money to do.
9 million.
I wouldn't mind him because Floyd always stays in shape. He's always in boxing shape.
Yeah.
So he can make if somebody's gonna pay him $9 million, $10 million to do shit like that, who's gonna turn that down?
Think about that.
Yeah,
$9 million for a fight that a fucking kickboxer is not going to win.
Yeah, but what gets me is
Because he can't use his fucking feet.
It's like what gets me is the people that criticize him. It's like what he's embarrassing the sport. I said how?
By
He's
going
not.
in and whipping somebody's ass? That's how
Yeah,
he's embarrassing the sport?
and making money. It's like and all the people that criticize him are people that have work for a living like the rest of us, have a boss.
Mm-hmm.
Floyd is in control of his own reality. That's like the best thing. It's like I think he said like before his fight with Shane Mosley, how he said he works like somebody about him said like he trains like he's poor. Like he said like he want to work, he always want to win. But it's like, well, why is they say because I don't want my kids that will have to work for anybody. So
And also, Floyd knows how to trigger people. That's his greatest talent. He knows how to trigger you.
Yeah.
Because when he goes out and he puts these Instagram videos out where he's showing, like he said, I'm here for 30 days, so I have 30 watches, and he's showing all his watches. All that does is just trigger people to hate his guts. So that's why they want to pay for see somebody beat him.
Yeah, and can't nobody figure out the mystery.
So yeah, I think it's funny actually.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, well, Floyd is just such a great like a great businessman.
It's like it's like when you take a troll seriously, who really wins? You or the troll?
Right.
And it's like
Stop saying that.
All right.
Stop showing me your watches.
Right.
Yeah. And somebody else is always well, we don't like it because he showboats everything. He always flashing his money. I say
No
this is a
kidding.
yeah. It's like this is America. Everybody does that
Calls
here.
himself Money Mayweather so he can trigger you. That's why he's doing it, and it was working.
Hold up, time out though. He said, and you remember him and the 50 beef?
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, Mayweather can't read, but yet I don't need to read to make money."
I just gotta whoop your ass.
Hey, Trump proved that. I don't need to know basic government or economics. Shit, I don't need to know how to read.
Trump is the president that this country deserves. He represents everything that this country is about. He's a bullshit artist. He skates his way through shit without doing no research. He gets over.
Time out. He doesn't read the prompter.
Right.
Facts. So guess what? He say what the fuck he want to say, and y'all mad at him because he's still been saying the same shit for how many years now?
40.
Yeah. Figure.
Oh yeah, we found out he hasn't paid his taxes in 20 years. Add that on to it.
And he triggers. He's like the Floyd Mayweather of the Republican. He triggers these people on the left, these Democratic hacks.
Make America great again.
It's so funny seeing these people lose their mind. Oh, Trump.
And the fact that the hat is red. Go figure.
Oh God.
Amazing.
Just saying.
But anyway, y'all, I'm getting off of here so I can get me something to eat.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been real.
Yeah.
Appreciate the conversation.
Oh yeah. We had a nice 3-hour long convo, so I'll be listening to this tonight.
I didn't even realize that.
Nice to have you on, Deontay Ford.
Yeah.
Deontay Ford, Kofi.
Thanks, y'all.
Minister Dawood. And Holip. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it speaking to y'all. You know, if it weren't for
Deontay.
y'all, I probably would have gave up this fight years ago. And I'm only 26.
Say amen, because I'm right with you on that one.
And I'm only 26, man. And it's just like I would have stopped doing this years ago. I would have just said, forget it. You know, maybe I should just blend in.
Man, I'm looking to retire, man. That's why I'm hoping that y'all take the banner and run with it, because I'm dead. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I need to retire and go somewhere and sip some Mai Tais, look at some big booty South African women.
You on the Mai Tais, though. That's what's up.
All right, y'all.
Hey, peace to the chat. I'll holler at you guys. Yep.
Peace.
Yep.
Peace.